Here we go. Game number one, first set of the day, EGC Finals. We're here in the playoffs, in the quarterfinals, and we're starting off with Puppypaw playing as the Abbasid Dynasty in the color red. On the other side of the map, we've got LoueMT today as LoueMT playing Juji's Legacy in the color blue. And we're here on Hill and Dale, one of the more known maps, one of the OG maps in Age of Empires 4. So players are going to be starting off on their little kind of archipelagos, on their little mountains here. But most of the resources are going to be towards the middle, the center of the map, so players eventually will have to move out of the base.
Yeah. I love how easy LoueMT made that micro look at the beginning, just moving out to the deer, chop the straggler tree, also killing the sheep on next to it, and it's just going to allow him to have some nice food in the long term. However, very, very far out from his base since he's going out on that deer, and it's on the front side. So if Puppypaw chooses something like the military wing, Louie's going to have to react with some military himself.
Yeah, but the military, it's never really it's never really hard for Juji's Legacy. Once they enter that Song Dynasty, once they get that Jiangnan Tower up, it's never really hard for them to react to anything that your opponent puts out military-wise, because they get some free military with every single military production building that they put out. Overall, it's so easy for Juji's Legacy to adapt to what their opponent is making. It's going to be interesting to see what exactly Louie is going to be going for here. Whether it's going to be a 1TC kind of play or multi-TC kind of play. I guess especially when you play against the Abbasid, you're definitely more incentivized to go into that multi-TC kind of approach. And more often than not recently, we've seen Juji's Legacy go for some really, really fast 2, maybe even 3 TC timings.
Yeah, I know I've seen Puppypaw play that exact build multiple times. He's gone with the 3 TCs himself, but playing against it, it's one where not only can you go with that heavy macro, you can also go with just some 1 TC heavy chook play, Song Dynasty as your granary transition. All your food transitions are much easier. Against the Abbasid, I do expect this one to be more of the boomy style game behind this. We can see Puppypaw already going up with the economy wing.
Yeah, so very likely going to be an economically focused game. And I mean, this makes sense for both civilizations, right? The Abbasid, they do get that Fertile Crescent upgrade with the economy wing, means that they pay less for the TCs. Louie, with the Juji's Legacy, is probably going to be going for Song Dynasty, so he pays less for his TCs. And overall, both players, I'm thinking both players are going to go for at least 3 TCs. I think Puppypaw with the Abbasid might actually go for a 4th one as well at some point.
Yeah, really has that easier opportunity to make those vills with the easier food, but Louie will have the easier food transition himself. We can already see the meditation gardens he chose far out next to the berries and next to a big wood line that he's going to be able to get. So just doesn't want to really have to send a lot of vills onto wood early on and just have that constant food and wood trickle in.
Yeah, now this isn't like your ordinary berry bush that he's placed it next to. This is one of the larger berry bushes out on the map, and the meditation garden gives you 8 food per minute for every single one of these individual berry bushes. There are 2 kinds of size of berry bushes. They're like these really small, these like normal sized ones next to your TC, and then out on the map there tend to be ones that have even more individual berry bushes. We can see here this one has 6 berry bushes next to the base of Puppypaw. The one in the corner for Louie, it's gonna have like, I think 8. Yeah, it's 8 berry bushes, so you get 2 more. That's going to be an additional 16 food per minute, so he's going to be getting a lot of food per minute from that meditation garden.
Yeah, I always laugh when looking at the meditation gardens. Again, how strong of a landmark that one is. You talked about the other feudal age landmark that we're most likely going to be seeing dropped in the next couple seconds. But the meditation gardens, a lot of times you'll be like, oh, I didn't have a good meditation gardens. It's only 100 resources per minute. And it's like, what 100 resources per? Yeah, and it's like you heard that right. That's a bad meditation gardens.
Yeah, now there aren't any additional resource like gold or stone in the vicinity of this landmark. However, like just with the 8 berry bushes and the wood that you get there, that should be at least 100 resource per minute. I think roughly 2 villagers worth of food income that he gets there with that berry bush. And yeah, I mean, straight away gets a lot of these resources in, and yeah, this might be, I'm guessing like 120 resource per minute just in terms of like wooden food that he's getting there. And that's overall still a very, very solid meditation garden.
Yep, and now we are seeing the tower, as you mentioned earlier. It's the one that allows them to transition to military so much easier. I always love seeing, people drop stables, and if you think about it, it's 150 resources to drop a stables, and you get a free 120 resource unit. You're basically spending 30 resources a pop.
Yeah, exactly. Barely takes any resource at all. Now, Puppypaw, he's the first one to grab some of the economy upgrades. Starts off with Wheelbarrow. Almost has enough for his first TC to go up. Just needs a little bit more stone. With that Feral Crescent, doesn't cost a lot. And here we go. 55 wood, 64 food per minute. That's a pretty decent meditation garden. Almost 120 resource. So 119 resource per minute that he's getting from that. And especially getting all of that food when you go for that multi-TC kind of approach, that's definitely going to be helpful for him.
Yeah, it makes things quite a bit easier. You can see both players dropping their secondary TCs where? Right next to stone. It's the least walking time, and they're wanting to get right back onto that stone because they're planning on more TCs. We're going to see a lot of villagers before the military action starts unfolding.
Yeah. Overall, looking at this, I mean, you gotta be feeling really, really good right now when you're playing as the Abbasid because you're getting that fresh foodstuffs in, you're gonna be spending less on your villagers, and especially without a lot of aggro going on early in the game, that means that you're gonna have free access to all of those berry bushes out on the map, and berry bushes for the Abbasid, that's some really great eco. A farm coming out really early here, a couple early farms. I'm sure if Puppypaw just wants to spend some of his wood right now. I mean, those are cheap for him. He gets them pretty cheaply. Louis also gets his farms very cheap. I guess it makes sense to start on early with a farm, like with the putting on the farms out there, because you're gonna also reduce the amount of travel time that your villagers have to go through. Like walking all the way to the middle of the map with a couple of villagers for the berry bushes, that's a lot of idle time in there as well.
Well, I think he's still going to end up doing this, but I think what this allows him to do is just transition a little bit harder. He's doesn't have to send as many villagers. He doesn't eat the berries, the deer, and the other sets of berries behind his base as fast. So it just really delays that kind of weakness point. And it's really, like you said, not that much of a resource investment that'll have its payoff.
Oh, and look at that. Puppypaw pulling the boar here onto the villager from Louis. It's going to prevent these walls right now from coming in, but Louis, he's made a stable. With that, getting that free horseman. Look at that. He's not actually producing any horsemen. He's just making sure with that free horseman that he gets from the Jiangnan Tower to be able to deny that scout from scouting and just overall harassing his villager with that boar.
Yep. Vision is one of these key things in these macro matchups. You might not think like it's too big, but with these high elo players, vision is the #1 knowledge. You know how to react, what units to counter with, how many TCs your opponents make, and how greedy you can be. And that's where Louis is going to have that better effect as far as the vision goes.
And now 30C also coming in for Puppypaw now. Now Louis, he's gotten his 30C up a little bit quicker. Just because as the Chinese, you build them really quickly as well. And he's got a couple of villagers extra. That's because with the Jiangnan Tower, whenever you actually finish a TC, you immediately spawn a villager from it. So it means you immediately get like this little bit of extra economy coming in there. Villager free. You're never going to say no to that. And overall, Louis' economy here right now, behind all of this, looks really solid. He barely invested into military. Like this horseman here, it's free. He only invested into a stable.
Yeah, just hasn't had to spend the actual food onto units, so it is looking like a potential. Oh yeah, I was gonna say castle, but he's starting to drop a range here now. Wants to react to those spears heading towards his base at least, and it is.
Oh, yeah, once again, he's not making any Jugunu. Yeah, he's not making any Jugunu. This is just the free one in order to react to the spearman. He's gonna show that Jugunu, and he's gonna be like, yeah, you can't hit me, right? I got a ranged unit. You can't hit me with your spearman, and it's pretty much exactly the situation that Puppypaw is going to find himself here, and behind that, it's just going to be fast Castle Age.
Yeah, and you look at the difference in the walls. Puppypaw is very conservative, walling in like basically right on his little, hill that he is on. Barely went outside the bottom of his TC, whereas Louis, he went out pretty far. He got the deer, he got the boar, he got an 8K gold vein behind his walls. So it kind of allows him more of this map control if they get into this raiding back and forth engagements with their villagers.
Yeah, and this was an investment, but let's not forget, like, behind all of that, Louis, from his meditation garden, at this point in time, he's pretty much gotten like 300 already out of it, just passively. 300 wood. And he was able to use that to invest into these walls. It's a really good position for a medication guard. Like, sure, there's no stone, there's no gold, but don't discredit it. It's still very, very strong. And now we see both players getting really, really close to that age up. Puppypaw, however, he's not going to be able to rush his age up with the Abbasid. So it's going to take a little while for him longer to get there. A couple sheep try to make their way back. Puppypaw probably going to jump on those. Immediately takes them down.
Yep, not a fan of those sheep over there. Did not want Louis a little bit of that food, but the Shaolin Monastery is on its way. Louis also dropping double barracks down next to it, and so this timing play could potentially punish Puppypaw, who just now clicks, and as Crackedy just mentioned, 1 minute and 40 seconds with the Culture Wing on its way.
Yeah, the age up. It's going to take a while here. Louis, as soon as he ages up, immediately queues a couple of these Palace Guards. He's going to be able to deter these units in the frontier from his base. Puppypaw queuing a Camel Archer. Camel Archer does a good amount of damage. Should be able to make sure that these Palace Guards aren't going to completely overwhelm him.
And that macro was just so tight for Louis. I just looked up at his resources, and they were all at under 70 resources each. So just right as he hit castle, able to utilize every single resource he had in the bank, which managing 3 TCs, that many villagers, and still just saying that clean is crazy to think about.
Exactly, and now the first Shaolin Monk is also going to be coming out, so Louis is going to be looking to get a lot of these relics out, and with the Shaolin Monks, it is very hard for your opponent to contest the relics if you don't have any, like, unique kind of religious unit, mainly because these Shaolin Monks, they're fighters. They're definitely fighters, so if you go for, like, your own monk, you want to contest the relic, and the enemy Shaolin Monk arrives at a similar timing, your monk is likely going to be going down there, and first Shaolin Monk now out, so the relics, they're going to be gathered up here very quickly now.
And you can see Puppypaw splitting his units across the map onto those different relics. He knows that's going to be a focus point for Louis. However, we just heard Crackedy mention it again. The Shaolin Monks are fighters. They're going to be able to counteract a couple of those units. If there are just a few spears, Shaolin Monks will take those fights. The Camel Archers are really going to be the key unit that's going to take down those monks the best.
And now Puppypaw ages up. He almost had enough resource to go Imperial Age behind all of that. Now he's going to be able to immediately queue into Golems and Crossbowmen. Don't think that Louis is going to be able to do enough damage here now to Puppypaw. And look at that. Look at that fighter. Shaolin Monk just easily taking down these Spearmen here. Very, very fast attack speed and high base damage.
Yep, you can just say bye to those few units. Louis can just go snag that relic if he wants instead of finishing off the spear. And a villager looks like he is moving out on the map for Louis, trying to start outposting some of these gold veins, getting vision of this 8k gold. He knows Puppypaw walls himself in, so if this game extends, if he controls the gold and delays some upgrades for Puppy, could be a vital difference. And we're finally starting to see some raids into the base with the first knight getting a villager kill.
Yeah, knight, first villager, goes down. Puppypaw getting more and more units out on the field. Louis still has the army advantage, and the first couple of relics are making their way over to Lee's base. Now a monk once again picks up a relic here. Now they did nerf the ranged armor for these monks, so the archer at least does a little bit of damage, but looks like it's still not going to be enough with the high base health as well. Monk is going to make his way in, and that means that Puppypaw at most can get 2 relics in this game.
Yeah. We see 3 already secured and about to be, well, the third one about to be dropped in just a little bit. Ghulams, though, very scary unit to deal with overall. It's why the Abbasid's such a strong civilization in Castle Age. Not only that, they can, build some siege on the field. They have a lot of different units on their roster, but the Ghulams are the ones that everybody loves the most.
Yeah, behind all of that, though, Puppypaw, he went up with the Culture Wing. Let's not forget that. So his age up to a possible Imperial Age, it's going to be discounted by a lot. Once he gets there, it's going to cost a lot less. But we're getting to that point where Puppypaw, he doesn't have any more gold inside of his base. He has to move out, and he's doing just that right now. Moves out to the first large gold vein outside of his base. Not sure if Louis is also moved out yet. He still has the gold inside of his base. The tax gold definitely helping him out there. Means that he didn't have to gather as much gold early on. Look at that. Just the outposts going up everywhere. And really, like, the Zhushi's Legacy, it's the easiest for them to put up this many outposts early on in the game, because they only cost 60 wood each in the Song Dynasty. Now we also see the first couple of siege units coming out.
Yeah, and it's one of these that players like Louis, they can utilize this vision so much more effectively than, players such as myself that really doesn't have the APM to deal with all of this. trying to counteract Puppy from securing up a relic. Monk stays alive at 1 health, it looks like. Scout's there, but there's more than enough spears to just deter that on away. So Puppypaw, at least 1 relic.
Yeah, at least 1 relic, but looks like Louis, he's gonna go for that 2nd relic now. Lots of Palace Guards, a Knight in there as well. No range units yet from Louis, though. Does have 2 Nests of Beast, though.
Springald emplacement has already arrived onto that outpost and fortifications, so secures up the 4th relic. So 4-to-1 relic differential, but a big red army moving across the map, and that's a lot to deal with. The 2 Nest of Bees, yeah, that's great, but you need your big Palace Guard mass as well.
That's a big Palace Guard mess. Yeah, it's on the side right now, but that's also where Puppypaw has all of his gold right now. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to hold that. Has to send a couple of units probably over to protect that.
Louis catches a little glimpse of it. Back up crossbows, though, are here in reinforcing mass, so the Palace Guards, they actually have to fall back. A lot of them get taken out, and Louis, not the greatest trades there right before Puppypaw is planning it all in on his base.
Yeah, and behind all of that, Louis, he only just started transitioning onto his farms. So we can see in the back, not all of his farms right now have villagers on them. It's going to take a while until, like, this might actually be the transition now for him. The best moment for Puppypaw to strike.
Yeah, in just a little bit. I mean, his food income already, it's through the roof, but the granaries, they're just now coming into play. He needs a lot more units out, whereas Puppypaw, he's still got 9 more crossbows into queue. It's not like Louis is actually catching up with these numbers.
Yeah, and look at that, Puppypaw, he's pretty much PopCap now. Right about PopCap, and Louis, he's got some siege out, but let's not forget, this isn't Chinese siege. This is Zhuji's Legacy siege, so there's no clock tower bonus health coming in for these Springles, for these Nest of Bees. They only take 2 Springle shots, 2 Springle shots to take down.
Oh yeah, just 2 Springle shots.
Brilliant slip there.
Yeah, it happens, it happens. Puppypaw only has 2 Springalds, though, so the Siege War still should be in Louis' favor. The Springalds help to snipe out those Rams before they're getting down the effective damage. Nest of Bees in the back, but Springald immediately taken out by Puppypaw, and the Spears are diving on top of the Nest of Bees with nothing to protect them.
Crossbow's getting free fire on the Palace Guards, and Louis, he's gonna have to fall back now. Is repairing the Nest of Bees, though, so those will stay alive. Might give him a shot to be able to defend with them if he just falls back a little bit more, and that's a defensive keep also going up in his base. At the same time, though, attack on the gold mine from Puppypaw.
Only a
look
few
like it's gonna achieve too much
to deal with it, but still enough. Another reinforcing mass there, and the Rams are starting to tear apart Louis' base. The Nest of Bees, though, they're still alive, and they're able to get those huge AoE shots down, and a lot of, like, just damage has been going down on the front line of Puppypaws, so it's really only crossbows left to defend.
Production buildings, though, going down for Louis, and these aren't discounted by the Song Dynasty, so you're paying full price for that. And potentially, the Relic Land might be getting taken down as well. That's a lot of passive gold income that Louis is currently getting. Looks like he is going to be able to push Puppypaw out of his base for the time being.
Siege has to be canceled by Puppypaw. Mangonels fire a few extra shots on, and the Rams finally about to be cleaned up.
The Bees getting in position, trying to at least get into position.
Every time they set up the fight,
always scooting back. Yeah.
Just such good kiting by Puppypaw. But the Mangonel has been left out to dry, and that will be the sacrificial lamb for the 40 crossbows behind it.
Yeah, one will go down. Now we got a huge mass of crossbows here. Not a lot of frontline, though, for Puppypaw. Looks like Puppypaw behind all of that. He also had to go for his own farm transition. But look at the mini-map right now. Louis behind all of this, while all of this was going on, he's walled Puppypaw inside of his own base. With outposts behind it. With stone walls, even.
It's just like the APM to do this while that whole entire fight's going on. If your Nest of Bees goes down, you basically lose. Puppypaw's trying to get his own walls, but he doesn't realize what's gone on. The villager is going to need a few more outposts to potentially deny the gold. However, Puppypaw is starting to clean up these few outposts just with 1 or 2 Rams that you can just send out on its own.
Villagers right now going out for Louis, trying to secure resources out on the map, but there's no military really behind that. Puppypaw, he still has a very good lead right now when it comes to the units. And now we see a random Vololo coming in on the farms, just declaring, hey, I got this relic. I don't have a monastery to put it in right now, but soon. Soon.
I also think that could be one of those where you're like, hey, you have to look here. I mean, well, if you hear Wololo, you have to look there immediately. You can't, like, it could be a game changer. So it could just kind of pull your opponent's attention away from something you don't want them to see real quick and allow yourself, you know, maybe the time to escape with 20 villagers off of your stone and gold.
Imperial Age coming in right now for Louis. Temple of the Sun being rushed up right now with 20 villagers. Temple of the Sun, he has a lot of palace guards out. That's immediately going to allow him to get the bonus movement speed on his palace guards. With that much movement speed, even the crossbowmen, if they don't have a front line, they might be in danger. Look at that 4 nest of bees right now.
Yeah. Louis, he is investing heavy into the siege superiority. He has dropped in that 4th relic finally. More of these outposts starting to get cleaned on up. But I believe the gold in the north is still just being triple, double, quadruple reinforced by more outposts.
So now Puppypaw is also looking for an age up. Probably has to go up with the military wing now, I would assume. Oh, Springle Tower is taking a couple of shots there on the villagers. Military wing now going up. That's exactly what Puppypaw is going to need here.
Yep. Both of these players just basically sitting at max population, waiting for some of these Imperial Age upgrades to come in for Louis, and then these Palace Guards just get so much stronger.
It's 1 siege workshop here. Louis, he's going to get a ram out of that, and it's immediately going to do a good bunch of damage to these walls that Puppypaw just put up there, and the outpost as well, and reinforced outpost there. It's so difficult for Puppypaw to clean all that up. He doesn't have any mobile units out on the field right now. These are all very slow-moving units for him. It's very difficult for him to react to all of these different kind of maneuvers that Louis has put up here.
He has at least secured up the next gold for himself with a keeper along the next 8k gold vein. And he's got rams breaking out of the southern side. I wonder how many crossbows he's lost from these Springle emplacements, though.
Yeah, probably a good bunch. And here we go. Palace Guards looking to enter the base of Puppypaw right now. And that's a lot of economy that he has behind that wall. That's a lot of economy there. Oh, no.
Wall is about to go down. Gate is already in place, so the crossbows, they're not going to even be able to do anything. The Palace Guards just run right through the gate, and Puppypaw's walled out still.
Oh, you gotta pick up a quick wall there. Oh, he's not walling. He's not walling. This is going to be terrible. Palace Guards are into the economy now from Puppypaw.
He hasn't yet reacted.
Fast.
He still hasn't reacted. There it is. Finally sees it. He starts to run on away. But there's so many villagers there, and Louis going for the circle, going for the cutoff, onto the gate, onto the wall.
Behind that, Louis, he doesn't stop at Song Dynasty. He's going for Ming Dynasty now. And with that, the Palace Guards, they're actually going to be doing a lot more damage now.
He just cleaned up an easy 15, 20, 30 vills. You could see the kill count already. It's 44-7.
And Puppypaw, he can't take the direct path over there. Because of that wall, because the wall wasn't destroyed, he's gonna have to move all the way around, and this is hurting him so badly right now, having to move all the way around. And Louis, behind all of that, he's probably starting to take map control once again on the left side. Just as soon as he puts units on the right side, immediately walks towards the left side.
Yeah, he is starting to just cripple the farming economy of Puppypaw, although Puppy's still got a solid 2,700 food into the bank. But these Palace Guards have split up. There's still some sitting onto the other wood lines, and you can't forget how much control Louis has on this map.
Palace Guards just all over the place, flooding the economy here from Puppypaw. Most of the food income is now going to be idle behind that. Puppypaw is sitting at 1,700 food per minute. Louis, he's almost doubling that. Now he is doubling it.
Puppy's at under 90 bills. I mean, Louis' this timing push with the Palace Guards, just due to that stone wall coming in, has just crippled Puppypaw's economy. He might hold this, yes. He has a huge military.
Can we take a look at the Palace Guards, at their attack stats with the Ming Dynasty? They get an additional plus 15% attack, and look at that, plus 8 damage on these Palace Guards. They're doing 22 damage with every single hit.
Louis still just throwing away a lot of these units while raiding. You can see Puppypaw's military mass. He's up at 86 military. If he can actually go to the base of Louis, then he could end it. But Louis has a lot to defend already, and he has his economy spread out throughout.
Main economy though from Louis. Those granaries, they're very far tucked away behind in the base right now. It's going to take a lot to get units over there, especially since the sides are stonewalled. The front side, I believe, it's still only palisade walls. So those should be able to easily be taken down. Sides are stone walls, but the front side is only palisade walls. But look at that, UN Raiders now coming in. And those guys are by default maxed out movement speed-wise, 2 tiles of movement speed per second.
And there they are. You can see how fast they are. Such a great unit to close down onto the crossbows as well. Able to get a lot of surrounds, a lot of circles, and the crossbow mass in the middle for Puppypaw getting cleaned up quite quickly. Louis still has the Nest of Bees mass just playing defense this whole time.
Pop up behind this. He is going into the Camel Riders. Didn't grab the Camel support aura yet. Definitely would be helpful for him here, but it's gonna have a lot of points now to defend, and his income, it's crippled. It's crippled massively compared to what it was, and there we go. UN Raiders now running onto the crossbowmen immediately.
Yeah, I don't know how Puppypaw can try to support Camel Riders with how much they cost, and Louis is just trying to end this game. Palace Guards just running throughout, cleaning up these crossbow masses, and Puppypaw can't really reinforce them that great, but the circle back around from the Camel Riders cleans up the Nest of Bees mass.
Nest of Bees, all of them go down. Behind that, Louis, he's got 42 Palace Guards on the field, 50 more in queue behind that.
17 UN Raiders in queue, and this is where Louis is so decisive with ending the game. He's got 5 Rams more in queue, and he's just going to start crippling the whole entire base of Puppypaw villagers. The under 100 villagers that Puppypaw's on, he's going to have to use those to burn down Rams. And you might question, how is Louis losing some villagers? Well, he might even be deleting some himself at this point. We saw him do it yesterday.
There was actually a small raid force of crossbowmen from Puppypaw actually blocking some of the reinforcements, but it's not enough. Not enough economy here for Puppypaw to keep pumping out units, and Louis, he's gonna get a first victory on the board here in this best of 5.
That was just unbelievable. While Puppypaw was pushing into the base of Louis, while he was looking to end the game, Louis just was able to stonewall in Puppypaw, drop outposts, and just once he defended the push, had too much control for Puppypaw to stop.
Look at that villager graph there. That's when the Palace Guards arrived in the base from Puppypaw. I feel like that could have been completely avoided with just a stone wall there to the right-hand side. Like right before Louis' wall, just put up another layer of walls with your villager that you had right there. And now, previously, that wouldn't have been possible to wall there. Now that you can actually wall 2 stone mines, he would have been able to put up a wall there. Overall, though, Juji's Legacy proving very, very strong here, and that was a dominant victory for Louis in this one.
Yeah, he really, Louis was allowed to, obviously hit castle much quicker because he could build his landmark. That allowed him to get some of the relic control and some of that map control. But we'll have, in just a second, we'll see what we have in store for game number 2. What map and what matchup here with Rocky River and Mongols versus Japanese.
All right, that's going to be an interesting matchup. The Mongols on Rocky River. They can be super, super solid because you can get so many spearmen out early. So even the Japanese, with their very cheap fishing ships, they probably won't be able to really hold water early on if they decide to expand on water.
Yeah, I always just love watching Japanese play on these hybrid maps. It's so cool if they utilize those shinobi, which are typically utilized in the hybrid maps, because you can, disable those docks, pull your opponent's attention around to all these different places, which we know Louis is very good at doing, which we just saw last game.
Yeah, exactly. Gonna be interesting to see. And I mean, this match right now, this set for both of these players, it is super, super important. We mentioned it, we're in the playoffs right now. And in the playoffs, because you only have so many players playing right now, only 12 players, 8 players remaining currently, we're immediately in the quarterfinals. So whoever wins this is immediately going to move on to the semifinals here. And this could be a huge breakthrough for a player like LoueMT.
Yeah, absolutely nuts. And this is the last big tournament of the year. This is the year ender. So I mean, you're out of this. If you lose, you are eliminated. You're kind of just you get to take your rest for the rest of the year. Whereas if you win this, you get to move on, like you just said, to the semis of one of the major tournaments of 2023.
Thank you guys, by the way, for all of the subs that have been coming in. As you can see in the bottom right-hand side, we got that EGC TV community support goal, and you can help support EGC TV right here on Twitch, cheering, subbing, just watching. Every little bit helps. Also, check out the Patreon for EGC, where you can help EGC TV financially directly, helping us putting up all of these really, really great tournaments here in Age of Empires 4. And overall, it is all very much appreciated. All of this wouldn't be possible without the community support.
Yeah, absolutely. And if there is enough community support, there's a Las Vegas LAN on the horizon. Not sure exactly how much support that may be, but it's still there. If we hit it enough, it's gonna happen. Pesty said it himself.
Indeed, indeed. We're gonna make it happen. 1,000 subs on the Patreon. That's what we're gonna be looking for. Only just a little bit longer until we go going into our second game now of this set. I gotta say, Japanese, they've been looking really, really solid on these hybrid maps, but Mongols, they used to be king here on these hybrid maps. It's gonna be interesting to see Puppypaw, especially a player like Puppypaw, who's also very, very dominant with the Mongols. Let's see what he can pull off here.
Yep. So game number 2 starting. Will Puppypaw be able to even the series? We are in Rocky River here. And here we can see Puppypaw spawning on the northwest side as the Mongols in the color red, and LoueMT in the southeastern side as the Japanese in the color blue.
Oh, and this could be the thing that we alluded to earlier. This could be a little bit of a trap for the Japanese Louis, moving out with a villager onto the pond, so he wants to get some economy going on water. However, Puppypaw, he's not opening up with a pond. Instead, he's opening up with his Uwu, which does mean that he is very likely going to be dropping a barracks there very, very soon. And with the double production that the Mongols get early on with their Uwu, with the stone income that they get, it is very easy for them, or rather, it is very possible for them to overwhelm the opponent who only just invested into the dock. And if they burn it down, not only are they going to deny the fish from the opponent, but they're also going to be getting a nice little bit of raid bounty.
Yep, exactly. So very key for the Japanese to be able to defend those docks, make sure that raid bounty doesn't go on over, because not only will you be losing the eco you invested into, Puppypaw getting more of that. So it does look like Louis, though, dropping that dock in the north side, and spears should be starting to be produced in the next couple seconds.
There we go. Dock has been dropped. Now, the ponds, they're not as prevalent as they used to be. They now only hold 2 shoreline fishes, so it's only 1,000 food rather than 2,000 food that used to be inside of these ponds, but they were still by no means irrelevant. 1,000 food early on is still quite a big deal, especially if you consider that with a civilization like the Japanese, to get like 3-4 fishing ships out with a dock together, it's not the biggest kind of investment, and you're definitely getting more resources out than you invested in.
Yeah,
doesn't mean though that the food is going to run out much quicker.
Yeah, sometimes you won't see players utilize a dock on it now with only 2 fish. Sometimes you'll just see them take the map control a little later on, just drop a mill next to it and get that lovely, lovely shoreline fish gathering right from your villagers too. Japan, though, obviously,
just 2 fishing ships.
Yeah, a little bit easier for them to actually invest onto a pond with only two fish, because they're so much cheaper compared to other civs.
Puppypaw, he hasn't scouted yet that pond, but looks like he's moving just to the last one now. So he is going to find that one for Japan, and yeah, that means that he's going to be able to not just deny... Actually, these ponds here right now, with the shoreline fish, he might just be able to burn down the fishing ships. Doesn't even need to go for the dock immediately.
Yeah, starts to burn the fishing boat. You can see the health starting to go down. The con can help out as well. But Louis could, if he can just react in time, just throws that fishing boat right on inside, or just utilizes the pathing problem of the spearmen to allow to fish on the other side.
Didn't know. 4 spearmen out already. Looks like Puppypaw isn't going to invest much more into it, though. Smart choice, since Louis, he also stopped investing more into water. And with the Japanese, it's great, because you don't have to invest a lot of wood into your fishing ship economy. That's an interesting path here. All right, so it looks like Louis, he went for the early Tawara with the Japanese, so he's going to be gathering from these berries quite a bit quicker. It's also the first part of getting wheelbarrows, so the villagers are a little bit faster than they would usually be. Gets enough food now for the age up, just needs a little bit more gold. And the Khan from Puppypaw right now behind all of that just is a little bit annoying there on the gold, and now the age up, Silver Tree coming in for the Mongols.
Yep, 5 villagers on that Silver Tree market is in a fine location, although the wood lines in between it might make those traders have some weird routes to take, or some potentially easy walls for Louis to drop to annoy the traders' pathing. That villager that's low health just going to be pulled back under the TC to safety, and Puppypaw forces out the outpost on the gold by pulling a single spearman away from that dock as well.
It's going to be quite nice to be able to deny the gold here. The question's going to be, is Louis getting that outpost up? More spearmen are coming in now. Is that outpost even in range of the TC to go up? That doesn't look like it is, and Puppypaw is immediately going to be putting those spearmen to use and tries to burn down the outpost. Might go for a little jab on the villager. There's one very low health one. Surrounds it. Doesn't surround it, doesn't click on it. Villagers make it out alive.
Oh my, just unbelievable micro buy. Louis barely able to keep those vills alive, and Puppypaw loses a spearman, takes a little bit of damage on another one. Nothing too bad, and finally gets the juicy bounty over from the dock starting to burn.
And with that, Puppypaw, he's not going to be able to deny that gold for much longer, and Louis just passively from that gold mine is going to get enough stone in order to put an emplacement on that outpost. It's going to be very far away, though, right now from getting any Daimyo TC upgrades in. Now, Koka Township is going to finish, so Louis says he wants to be ninja, and that's going to be the first ninja immediately that gets it for free. And these ninjas, they're no joke. The Shinobi, they have so much damage, and look at that. 20 base damage plus an additional 5 against melee. They shred spearmen.
And I mean, you're talking about their attack and not even talking about the additional abilities that they have that are so cool, so mobile, and can also disguise themselves as well.
There we go. Last couple fishing ships do get taken down.
Shinobi
Spearman.
finishes off a
Just a
low
couple
health
of attacks.
spearman. Khan, though, able to get a decent little bit of damage in on that Shinobi. It does add up over time. However, if you forget about him, I believe there's a little bit of some out-of-combat healing.
Oh, the Shinobi? The Shinobi don't heal out of combat, right?
I could be wrong.
I would be very surprised if they did. I don't think they do. Wait. No, they don't. Wait, they do what?
I told you. I thought it was something that was there.
Where does it say that? Where does it say that?
It doesn't say it. It's a little secret thing that I knew. All right, guys.
Where does it say that? You can never trust the tooltips. You can never trust the tooltips in Age of Empires 4. I swear.
When I said it, you questioned me, and I was like, maybe I'm wrong, but I swear it was a thing. Yeah, there is some out-of-combat healing on the Shinobi. It's very little, but it is there.
All right. Okay. So apparently there is out of combat healing for Shinobi. The more you know. And yeah, I mean, these are gonna heal up slowly but surely. But Puppypaw, he knows what LoueMT is going for. Louis, he's trying to go for like a fast castle age behind that, and 2 villagers get pulled, move all the way across the map, and they're gonna immediately deny 2 gold mines here. And look at where the next gold is for Louis. The next gold, they're both together towards the bottom side, but the archers are already here. This outpost, I don't think it's going to go up.
I don't think that Louis wins this game now. I think this is just over here and there. He can't get back onto the gold. He was investing into castle right now. The outpost goes up for Puppypaw and upgrades, and what does Louis do from here?
He's been caught with the hand in the cookie jar at this point in time.
Oh my gosh, the next gold you could drop yeah, I don't even know if you can fit a forge in between those 2 gold mine things.
Oh my god.
My thought here is Louis maybe tries to go on the stone to mine for the rest of the gold or drop a market and trade for it, but it's just going to be too late.
Easily
Puppypaw,
denied. Yeah.
yeah, and Puppypaw can start investing into his own trade now, and his economy is about to just go through the roof.
Oh man. Oh man, what a tough position right now if you're Louis. He's started to double down on the Shinobis. He's got 4 more in queue now, but there's archers out, and Shinobi, they get taken down very quickly by these archers, and now the woodline, it's not going to be safe anymore. Is this out of TC range? Oh, Khan lose his health, his life, and GG?
GG's
not
in the
getting
chat.
gold right now. Oh no, Louis. He's gonna walk over to the gold there, but the Keshik, he's already positioned it. No, he wants to rush up. He wants to rush up the outpost.
There's 2 more archers here, though. And 5 more archers. Oh, no. This is over.
No.
You can't do this.
Yeah, this is a GG move.
Villagers die before they even get to the outpost.
They find it and they immediately say, no, okay, never mind. This is not going to work. And yeah, now Louis is... he also barely has any more food under TC. He has like 3 more sheep. 5 more sheep now. He did get the couple that Puppypaw Scout left behind, but... where realistically is he gonna get resource from now? The archers are circling around. They're just gonna find the wood line there once again. There we go.
And we just saw Vodka highlight
not.
all of those villagers. There's so many villagers that are like half health, a quarter health, like 3/4 health that are just gonna fall so easily. And Puppypaw has done a great job of just spreading these units at all different spots. Louis, I think he finally decides, all right, I have to invest in the feudal age, but it's just gonna be too late now.
Oh, he's getting a samurai upgrade, but with only... wait, he just stopped an upgrade, didn't he? Yeah, okay, he didn't get that samurai upgrade. I was gonna say, he barely had enough gold to even produce many samurai after all, and now he's gonna be going into spearmen and the archers there. The main issue with that is, Louis, he doesn't have any daimyo upgrades, so these archers, they're barely gonna do any damage. They only do 4 damage per shot. He doesn't have... well, he does have a blacksmith, he does have a forge, but he doesn't have gold access to get all the upgrades that he needs.
Louis fishing on the west pond behind this. I don't know how.
I guess.
I don't know how or when that happened, but it did, and he should have used that villager to go wall off the market, and that would have been maybe a saving grace. But obviously, we all know from our God vision that this game, it looks far over already.
Yeah, I mean, Louis, he's now investing all of the resources that he's gotten, that he wanted to gather up for Castle Age, into units. But behind this, Puppypaw, he's been trading away. Can we check how many traders he's on right now? I think probably like 5, 7. I don't think he invested too much. It's 9 traders. Okay, so he did invest a little bit into those traders. He's going to start unlocking these additional tiers that the Mongols get for even more income from the trade. And yeah, the economy for Puppypaw, it's starting to look better and better. Now he's 10 economic units ahead.
Yeah, and even though Louis has been hard investing into this military, and Puppypaw still has more military, still has more eco, and this is about to be the game-ending fight. Keshik dives in, still a few spears there, so Keshik has to fall away and barely loses his life. A couple of shinobi fall, maybe just one. But Louis still has the heart of his economy right here on this wood line. If this gets denied at all, it's over.
Final bit of gold has now been spent by Louis on the blacksmith upgrades, gets +1 pierce damage and +1 pierce armor. Is that gonna be enough for him here? He's gotten 15 archers out, but Puppypaw, he's scaling his Keshik numbers behind this.
Yeah, and he's just kind of playing this game where anytime he steps up, Louis has to fall away, has to macro those villagers, move them over to the other side, and then Puppypaw circles, and it's just constantly causing these villagers idle time. Keshik's diving in, and not too many spears here left. And as that Keshik reinforcement number arrives, I feel like Puppypaw is just going to move into this mass.
Yeah, very soon he'll be able to dive TCs with the archer mass that he's got, and yeah, we can just see it here. The damage just isn't quite there, even though Puppypaw, he doesn't have the pierce armor upgrade. The trading still isn't bad for him here.
Just has more numbers there, and the Japanese archers, they may have some extra movement speed, but just not quite that unit that you want to take head-on engagements always. Although head-on engagement is happening now. Puppypaw moving further and further forward, taking down more villagers behind this. Khan goes down. GG's in the chat again. But soon, Louis' whole
has come
army.
in. Yeah, the army's going to go down. Only 3 spearmen remaining here, and the Keshik numbers are building. Can we take a look at Louis' TC? I don't think he's got really much going on there anymore. The sheep must just about be over. Never mind, he still has a couple of sheep there.
Somehow,
More
some
than
way.
one might think.
There's 7 Keshiks, but I don't know where they all are. But here we go. There's at least 3 on the front line this time. And the spears all fall this time. There's Keshiks still alive, and the Keshiks will just out-heal any damage that these archers can do on the other side.
Yeah, now this is the point in time where the archers, without the bannerman, they just don't do any damage here whatsoever to these Keshiks. And I mean, the archer count is still steadily growing for Puppypaw. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts thinking about Castle Age at some point.
Yep.
Oh, he's gathering from... Oh, no, the Gurden unpack. That's
no!
some unfortunate gathering here for him.
Hey, you know, he just wants to make sure the villagers get their steps in. He wants to make sure they get, get enough of their energy out for the day.
Now we got 4 Keshiks this time around. With a lot of archer support as well. Spearman gets taken down quickly. And now, looks like Puppypaw is just going to try and push in under the TC. That's where all the villagers are right now from Louis. A couple more villagers went onto the other wood line, but if Puppypaw is able to push through now, the villagers, they don't have anywhere to escape.
Yep, they're about to be running to where that Keshik has been waiting on this gold the whole entire time on that southern side. Louis just knows that he can't go that way. Villagers still just trying to find a place to go. Archers taking tons of fire from the TC, but still a fine trade for Puppypaw considering his economy behind this.
He's still got 3 times the military count, and as soon as there's no military left from Louis, that's when the Keshiks can run in, and he's gotten 5 more out.
22 more archers compared to the 7 left of Louis.
Oh, the Keshik found the wood line.
It's just waiting there.
Evacuate.
And it's not like Louis can locate to the northern side of this wood line because that outpost on the gold is still just sitting there waiting. Trade number is up to 21. Oh my, and finally Louis decides to throw in the towel. I think maybe he was just trying to play some mind games, trying to get Puppypaw tired over here from all the damage that was just happening. But 1-1 series has been tied up now.
Yeah, I mean, Louis, he's definitely a fighter. He's definitely a fighter. If he sees that there's even a fraction of a chance for him to come back, and we talked about earlier how important this set could be for Louis to make his way into the top tier in Age of Empires 4. If he wins this one, whoever wins this one, he's going to be going straight to the semifinals here in the EGC finals. So definitely makes sense to stay in that for quite a long time. But at this point in time, I mean, we know with our God vision how far ahead Puppypaw was, and we can take a look at the economy count here. Just because traders, they're not being counted in the in the villager count, we can see that, yeah, Puppypaw, he's been miles and miles ahead economically.
Yeah, the villager count at first, you're like, it didn't seem as bad as it felt like. And yeah, I mean, there was a lot of damage going down on Louis' villagers, but Puppypaw behind that was also investing in a trade. If he hadn't been investing in a trade, that game would have been over 8 minutes before that, probably.
Yeah, like Puppypaw, with the Mongols, he just took so many good trades there, and the Shinobi weren't really able to really accomplish anything this game. But here we go. Next game. It's going to be on Dry Arabia, and look at that. It's going to be Delhi versus Ottomans.
This is a matchup I always enjoy watching. Both of these civilizations are just, well, I will say there was a time where Ottomans loved to go fast castle a little bit, but in this matchup, you have to kind of respect the Delhi sacred sites and the way that Delhi plays. So usually it ends up being a heavy, heavy feudal army that you'll see just clashing off or just kind of staring at each other from afar, but continuing to mass units, continuing to respect each other.
Indeed, indeed. Now the Delhi, they do get that landmark, the Tower of Victory. With that, they boost up all of their infantry attack speed by plus 15%. Now the Ottomans, they also get the get the meta out there, which kind of mirrors that completely. However, the difference is that if you take the meta down, the buff disappears. Meanwhile, it's going to be very tough to take the Tower of Victory down, and those units, even once the Tower of Victory goes down, once they've been buffed up, the buff is going to remain.
Yep. Yeah, one of the things about both of these civs too is they both have their own little unique bit of horsemen. We have the Ghazi Raiders for the Delhi and the Sipahi for the Ottomans, and that's where I feel like the strength leans a little bit more towards the Sipahi, able to just get a little bit extra damage in, can utilize that fortitude if need be at the right times. You don't want to activate it when they take some extra damage from melee, I believe, and just get wiped on out.
All right, just a couple of seconds left until we're going into our third game in this set. Now, the set so far, it's tied up 1-1. Both of these players neck in neck, and this is really, really an even matchup, I would say, between these two civilizations, the Ottomans and the Delhi. So let's see how exactly this one is going to go.
Yep.
As game number 3 is starting right now. We see right away Puppypaw in the color red playing as the Ottomans, moving those 5 villagers out to stone. So we're going to be looking at an early military school coming out from the Ottomans. And on the other side, playing as the Delhi, we got LoueMT in the color blue. Going for that straggler tree, then going into the mill. Typical Delhi opening. Mosque also going up, so immediately going to be able to grab some of these free upgrades.
Yep, scouts already seeing each other into this mid map. They just decide to head their own ways, see what type of sheep they can gather, see what type of food they can get for the rest of the map. I would say it's a little bit more important for the Ottomans to gather up some of that sheep. They don't have that berry bonus other than their initial landmark, which will basically be able to plop 4 villagers on that twin minaret for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and they're in this matchup. I mean, both these civilizations, they get some really, really unique bonuses, which both play into the kind of role that they want to go for, into the military kind of role. So Louis, he gets all of his upgrades for free. Does take a while to research them though, but means that he doesn't have to invest much into the economy upgrades in order to have a great economy going for him anyways. Wheelbarrow now also being queued up. Meanwhile, on the other side, Puppypaw doesn't have to pay much for his military buildings and gets a lot of military for free with the military schools. So it's going to be a lot of military coming out here in the mid game. I'm mentioning that this is going to be a fierce fight in the feudal age for these sacred sites.
Yes, it will end up being that exact thing. And looking at the sacred site locations, you can see there's one that's like basically touching the southeastern point of the map, very, very close to that side. And it's going to be kind of off the beaten path for both of these players. So that's one where I feel like it actually favors the Delhi a little bit, because once you secure it, you can easily drop a wall very far away, and it just is a lot harder for your opponent to direct focus over there. Burn down the wall if you choose to build one over next to it.
Exactly. Delhi also, with that very fast gathering from the berry bushes, early on, they're definitely going to have an advantage when it comes to the food income. With that, they're going to be able to put up a lot more military on the field, especially when it comes to the cavalry. Now, both of these civilizations get access to unique horsemen. The Ghazi Raiders for the Delhi and the Sipahi for the Ottomans. Oh, sheep. One little tap on that, but the scout is going to find them. And now Tower of Victory is going to be going up here for Louis.
Yep. On the front side, right next to those berries, not a real importance on where that Tower of Victory is. Like Crackedy said, I don't believe the Tower of Victory is going to be as easy to take down comparative to those metters on the other side.
And now the Twin Minaret Madras coming out here from Puppypaw. 5 villagers on that, meaning that the age-up timing could be pretty similar for these two players. Puppypaw also pulling villagers off of gold, so only has 1 more on gold. Means that he's very likely going to be hard focusing on military here in the early game.
Yeah, the 1 on the gold just could be for an eco upgrade, such as, a double broad axe or something of the sort once he ages up, or just a blacksmith upgrade, as well as, the Ottoman. They are a civilization that drops the blacksmith a lot earlier compared to the others because it empowers their military school, empowers that production.
Getting bonus production speed very early on, definitely an amazing bonus here for them. Villagers gonna be moving out to stone, so we're very likely gonna be seeing more military schools coming out from Puppypaw here.
Yes, we will be. It almost kind of I feel like the military schools investing into it super early is always nice if it doesn't get punished, because that just means you're going to have that many more units pumping out throughout. Sometimes you don't have enough units to defend on up and you get punished for it, but even still, you're leaning into your civilization strengths. You want these military schools and all of the military schools that you can build out.
Here we go now. Age ups coming in for both players. Louis immediately queuing up some economy upgrades. Let's see, is he going to be going for an early potential blacksmith here for Lidelli? Looks like Louis wants to hit some of the deer here. And there we go, blacksmith coming in. So military upgrades coming in nice and early for Louis.
Blacksmith coming in for Puppypaw as well. This is not a mirror matchup, I promise. It just is one that both of these civilizations, they like to play very similarly.
Like Puppypaw, he is luring those deer, or rather try to lure the deer. It's probably going to have to just, yeah, he needs to kill them. I mean, they're very nice and close together, so there wasn't really any laming coming out from Louis trying to spread those deer out. Makes it a little bit hard to get them up, but they're still very close and even together, so it's not going to be too much of a pain to gather from them. And we go archer range now being opened up with for Louis. Puppypaw, he still has his military school on Spearman for the moment, and the second military school is just about to be built.
Yeah, and I know some people in the chat might be wondering, why didn't Puppypaw send the Spearman across the map, try to get some pressure in? Delhi just have that ability to either pull out the Scholar, heal up any damage done, or not be on the gold as you see Louis now. So those Spearmen would have just taken that trek across the map for no reason at all. And instead, Puppy just said, hey, I want to make those deer get closer and be more efficient later on.
Matter now in queue for Puppypaw. Looks like he's got one of his military schools on a matter. The other one has been switched over to archers. Still only one villager on gold, so this means that it's not going to be a fast castle age for him. Still no additional production buildings out yet from him, though.
Is he still going on a stone? It looks like it's going to be a second TC play from Puppy. You don't send that many on a stone for military schools, and he already has his second one down. It looks like he's just going defensively with the military schools as his army for now. Let them keep pumping and get a delayed secondary TC, which just feels weird against the Delhi, because Louis should be able to secure all 3 sacred sites very easily.
Yeah, I mean, getting those 3 sacred sites, that's pretty much equivalent to having like 8 or 10, like between 8 or 10 villagers. And immediately getting that income, it can be quite massive. And let's not forget that the Delhi is a very aggressive civilization behind all of that. With TC nerfs, with the nerfs to secondary TC, I feel like this could very easily be a trap for Puppypaw if he goes into that secondary TC, but it is going to be coming in now on that wood line close to those deer. So it's going to secure wood access and a good amount of food here as well, but he's going to have to turn that one into military very soon.
Yeah, Puppy's sending a good amount onto the gold now after it as well. So needs to try to catch up on some of those upgrades, potentially starting to make some archers to defend up that base as well. Louis securing the middle sacred site and going to circle the base with the scout, it looks like, and will spot out the secondary TC.
And behind that, he's got 3 production buildings down, and he is producing out of every single one of them right now. So gonna be seeing Ghazi Raiders, Archers, and Spearmen making their way across. And now the second TC has been found out. I mean, Puppypaw, he still has a good couple of military units out in the field right now, just passively from that military school. So he's not like 15-1, he's 15-8 right now. And he still has the option to produce a lot. It's just a matter of time for him right now to get the units out on the field. And I'm not sure how many production buildings he has out right now, and 2 Spearmen actually able to potentially decap the sacred site now.
Yeah, what I love though with the sacred site is you mentioned it earlier, the gold immediately starts ticking. It's not like a TC where you're like, yeah, you have a TC down. Puppy's got the TC down. It's just, it's going to take a while for that TC to pay off. Whereas Louis, he still just gets to invest in the military. He has income already coming into the bank. So with the military advantage he has, he gets to utilize this to pressure those extra villagers that are popping out, or trying to, I should say.
Oh, Scout, with the additional attack speed, gets taken down. So now Puppypaw, he doesn't see anything anymore on the map. He might need to actually rebuild that scout. And Archer is getting microed back nicely by Louis. Means that he's likely going to be taking down both of these spearmen. And the decap it's not going to be happening. And Louis, he's just about now going to be on 3 sacred sides. So the income immediately skyrocketing for him here. Could be looking for a fast castle age now. Could be looking for a market. And then just like buying resource with the bonus gold that he's getting. But
he's
looks
not
like
looking
siege
for
engineering is
castle.
coming in.
Yeah,
this is going to be a few late roll in.
He's looking to end the game. He knows how much Puppy's invested in this. He knows how much extra gold he's about to have. He can drop the market instead and trade these resources for extra food, extra wood, whatever he needs to keep making more and more units. And oh, my unit mass that he has already, 31 to 15, doubling on the mass of Puppy on the other side.
Yeah, and he did also just buy a lot of wood, so the Rams, they're going to be coming in as soon as siege engineering finishes.
Yep. Siege engineering finishes, more upgrades on the way as well.
And there we go. Ram getting placed immediately. I think he has to wait until he gets at least 2 Rams if he wants to push on through that secondary TC. Puppypaw, he's frantically massing up more and more archers. Now the archer count is even, but there's 10 Ghazi Raiders out and 12 Spearmen as well. This is going to be very, very tough for Puppypaw to hold. He needs way more Spearmen against this many Ghazi Raiders. And now the Ram is coming in. Louis, not waiting until the next Ram is coming out. He's pushing in immediately.
Yeah. Archers playing defensive for Puppypaw. Outpost and TC helping fire down, acting like there are more archers there. The Imams, though, on the front side, starting to get focused, and the first one gets taken down. That is so key, so crucial, and the outpost will be falling as well. Puppypaw trying to defend this up, but army is falling, and still falling quickly.
There's a couple of villagers on the front side as well, and there's still a lot of archer numbers. Now, the Ghazi Raiders, a lot of them have gone down, but is this enough? Now, the Ram. There's only 1 Ram, and I think with only 1 Ram, Louis isn't going to be able to push this all the way in. Villagers now getting pulled in order to take down that Ram.
But this is where you just double down. Fall back and double down again.
Yeah, and just build another Ram here at this point in time. He has, once again, a lot of gold in the bank. Is going to buy more resources up and just going to put all of that into production.
More and more production. You can't forget all of the upgrades for Louis. They're coming in for free, so they're just slowly ticking on in. And Puppypaw, he has not been able to get back onto the gold. He had that front gold that Louis focused for a little bit of time and never went back to it. So it's just sitting on those few economic and military upgrades that he chose. About to lose another couple villagers too. Look at the TC. It hasn't really paid off at all. He's only up 2 villagers after all the damage, after all of the all-in, and those 3 sacred sites worth a lot more than 2 villagers.
And their victory condition behind all of that, 7 minutes, and it's ticking down, and this is a lot of mental stress as well coming in with all of that, and Puppypaw under a lot of pressure here now. Doesn't really have a lot of safe income right now.
And think about the food he's gonna slowly be, luckily he's only on archers, so not a huge food investment, but Louis, he's able to go to all these different food locations. Another clash going down, and there's no spears this time for Puppypaw. So the Ghazi Raiders, they're that huge frontline tank mass. More villagers being taken down as well. Puppypaw is on his heels, but looks like Louis is still needing to fall back. Doesn't have that extra ram that we were talking about we think he needs.
But behind all of that, look at the income. He's almost doubling the food income right now from Puppypaw, and Puppypaw, he's pushing out quite far. Matter has to be careful not to get sniped. He's already at just 1/3 of his health, 1/4 of his health. Ghazi Raiders get sniped down.
Louis stepping up even further, wants to make sure that he can close the gap onto some more of these archers, but look at just that attack speed difference from Puppypaw. Able to just be so defensive under the towers, under the town centers.
And he's able to take some good trades here. Now, we look at the military count. We see that Louis, he's got a big lead when it comes to the overall military. He doesn't have all of his military in the front right now. It's pretty much only trickling in, and this is hurting Louis a lot right now. Hurts him enough to where Puppypaw actually finds a window now to go onto some supply. Oh, but the matter, it's too far out. It's getting taken down. Puppypaw, he has to retreat.
And
This is deadly.
no,
And
the
the
Imam gets taken out. And he just overstepped a little too far. A lot of the archers now going to be cleaned up. Puppypaw is still only at a 4 vil count lead. I'd love to see Louie get a few of his scholars just remass up all together, wait a couple more seconds, give himself 30 seconds or so, and then group in and end this.
Smatter just popped out instantly, so that means Vizier Point was used to get this one out. Behind that, Louis, so many production abilities, and now the second ram is going to be coming in. Louis, with the army value, more than double right now than what Puppypaw has, and this time, he's not going to stop until the second TC goes down.
And he's finally at double-digit Ghazi Raider numbers. This is where the archer-only build on the other side for Puppy will not be able to utilize so well. When there's only a couple, yeah, they can snipe those out fine, but when there's double digits, it is going to be too much. Rams going onto the outpost yet again. That's a lot more villagers onto the deer getting sniped on out. Puppypaw on his heels yet again. Archers getting cleaned up, surrounded by Ghazi Raiders, and the archers from Louis continually closing on in and sniping everything down.
Now the second TC is under fire. There's one Spahi there, though. Still a good bunch of archers from Puppypaw, but is he going to be able to hold the second TC? He needs to pull villagers. Villagers are coming in, torches in hand. And look at the hold behind all of that. Puppypaw is even in the military count.
Puppypaw holds again, but loses a lot of villagers. So second TC still hasn't paid off. He's down 2 villagers with producing, paying for both of those TCs. He did decap that southeastern site with the 1 Sipahi that he sent out that way, and looks like he's going to go try to hit some berry villagers as well. Outpost just going to be a little too late.
There we go. Sipahi coming out. Fortitude gets activated. With that, a lot of additional attack speed. Might be able to snipe a villager, but Louis, he is paying attention. Villager shifts come out just as the Fortitude ends, so no bonus damage being done to that Sipahi yet. But he does notice that a lot of the villagers here from Louis are moving over to those deer, so he knows where the income is right now for Louis. Question is, can he get a military force out right now in order to deal damage to it? His income right now, it's looking good for Puppypaw at this point in time, because right now it's a little bit of a low for Louis as he's like reassigning a lot of these villagers. An issue behind all of that though is Puppypaw doesn't have a lot of the eco upgrades. So his income right now, as soon as Louis starts gathering from these deer, it's going to skyrocket, and we're going to be seeing a fast castle age here very, very soon from Louis.
Yeah, I think Louis finally was like, all right, I did enough damage with that last push. Yes, he didn't take down the TC, but he did take down a lot of villagers. All those vills just sat on the deer, gathering right in front of that TC, getting sniped down by the archers. Probably a good reason why Puppypaw got some better military trades was because he was sacrificing villagers for it. But defense came through. Is it going to be enough as the compound of the defender is on its way?
Yeah, and Puppypaw, he is nowhere near close to Castle Age right now. Only 3 villagers ahead, but there's still 2 sacred sites right now. One not more is going to get decapped, but as soon as Louis goes up, he's going to start taking relics.
Villagers falling back from those berries, but as we saw the villagers move out onto the deer, villagers onto the deer, where are they headed to?
They run away. Louis is preemptively pulling them away, just to make sure they're not going to get found out. He's pulling them all the way over to the berries from Puppypaw.
Ah, I see. I mean, taking the berries from your opponent in the long run is also a huge benefit. Compounded Defender comes in. Delhi gets to start all the free Castle Age techs. It takes a little bit of time, though, but you do gain access to Castle Age armored units, and Knights going to be a great unit to make.
Yeah, and as he aged up, he still had like 1,000 resource in the bank, so these Knights, they're going to be really, really tough for Puppypaw to deal with now. They're going to have 5 armor, and these archers only have 6 attacks, so only 1 damage with every single shot coming out. A couple of villagers here might be found out, though. Now the Ghazi Raiders coming in from the backline. We'll need to respect that, and now the Knights are in as well.
Knights are in, archers there to support. If it was just the Knights, they could probably get kited on out, but the archers, every time Puppypaw's archers stop to shoot a Knight, the rest of the archers from Louis get extra fires in, and so the trades just go so much better for the Delhi over here because of this Castle Age armor.
Puppypaw, he has to look for his own castle age timing now at some point. Has to reinvest though into Spearman as well. And we can see already 6 knights on the field.
Reinforcements from Puppypaw just now arriving. He's been trying to kite this out, but Louis' military numbers are climbing so fast. All of that juicy food income from Puppypaw's side of the map. Puppypaw has gone to raid the berries that Louis went back onto, but this is really where the key fighting is starting to go on in, and Puppypaw's military numbers, he's trying to make them climb, but they just seem to slowly be falling.
So food income right now for Puppy. I'd still be looking for a castle age here now.
That's exactly
Louis
what he's
was
looking
sleeping
for
a little
now.
bit on the eco upgrades, but has now clicked them as well. It's a lot of supply, but probably not enough here. And the veterancy on the archers coming in soon, and there's still 30 archers on the field.
This is right when it's so crucial. Puppy needs this castle age to be able to come through secretly, needs to be able to get this fast, but Louis still securing some relics behind this. 3 on the way back.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Puppypaw, he wants to go to the gold there, but there's already an outpost and a lot of villagers from Louis. And Puppypaw, he doesn't have the military force to attack and defend his base.
34 villagers on the Imperial Armory. Ram already starting to siege down houses. Knights, Lancers starting to dive in onto the wood line, and the veterancy on the archers has come. All the villagers are headed that way. Oh no. They have baskets in their hands. They're going for the berries.
They got to torch down the outpost. As soon as possible, right away. He's sending the Sipahi instead. He needs the gold so badly. He's castle age, but doesn't have any resource for upgrades. And now the knights are coming in on both sides.
Oh, again, Puppypaw's second TC. It has not paid off. He's about to be down in the villager count yet again. The Lancers, they've circled around on the gold. They've been on the berries onto the west. Louis is everywhere right now.
Of these villagers are going down. It feels like it's a necessary sacrifice for Puppypaw to at least get some of these castle age upgrades in, but now he has to pull back. But if he pulls back now, that's going to be enough time for the fortification to come in on the outpost, and then it's going to be even harder to take down. And now all the sacred sites are capped again.
All the sacred sites capped again. 59 to 59 villagers. Military numbers pretty close to even throughout all of this. The Rams actually been trying to take down the twin minaret. I think it would have been better just taking down some additional houses or something of the sort. But the Knights, Lancers going back for another raid. Puppypaw is struggling on the food. He doesn't have a farm transition. Even if he does, good brace by the spears there, able to get a lot of damage on the Lancers. Archers able to get another 2 Lancers picked off, and they actually turn back around, maybe even a third. But the Ottoman, they're always so weak with their food transitions.
Yeah, but Puppypaw, he finally managed to scrounge up enough gold in order to get the veterancy on the archers, and that's going to be really important. Now there's still going to be some time left until Louis gets that secondary Pierce armor upgrade on his knights. So there might be a window for Puppypaw, but the upgrade is coming in very soon. He needs to get access back on the gold, and there we go. Finds the forward gold of his own. Question is, can he hold out until Louis has to go for his own farm transition? Villagers get pulled early. Oh, but the Knights see them.
A little bit of military here. Villagers actually pull out their shivs to help on out, and Louis is just throwing away some Lancers now. However, Compound of the Defender is about to finish, and Louis almost has enough for another keep. Yes, another keep. There's already a keep on that middle sacred site. So once Compound finishes, villagers are about to start pumping.
Yeah, all of these keeps suddenly transform into town centers as well, and with that, he's going to be able to boom behind all of the pressure that he already dished out. Now, Puppypaw, he is getting free siege out. He is getting free units out. He's gotten 6 crossbows out for free so far, without investing any gold into those. Now, also upgrading his spearmen. He needs to go for a big push on one of those sacred sites. The question is going to be which sacred site. This decap here could be crucial for him if he gets it in. Just a single unit on the top sacred site. If that decap comes in, that could buy him a lot of necessary time that he needs. And now a trebuchet also coming out.
Yeah, Trebuchet wants to start sieging down that middle. Actually, probably wants to just take down the outpost in the south side first and then go on to the keep in the center. Spears going to the south side sacred site as well. I'm not sure if the north did get
decap has come in. All right, okay. So Puppypaw is still not out completely yet in this game. Now there are 4 relics that have been collected by Louis as well. So his gold income right now is absolutely through the roof. But military-wise, Puppypaw has more military units out. Now, don't forget that, sure, Louis, it says he's on 65 and his army value is quite high. But Capture Age also counts the scholars into that. So there are 12 scholars. That's an additional 1,500 military value that that Louis gets on top of everything else. Oh, but look at that as well. 2 mangonels out from Louis. He's also playing the siege game.
Yeah, we saw him how well he did with the siege game last game with the first game with those nested bees barely being able to keep it alive. The keep though, it's been on its way. It's about 80-90% of the way. There's a bunch of archers here. It's gonna have to get canceled.
It gets canceled. Okay.
The perfect
good
timing
there
from Puppypaw to take down and deny the keep on that northern sacred site. Louis barely loses some vills for it and just has his army posturing around the center.
Now, fight with the mangonels probably about to come in very soon. The main army from Puppypaw is still away. The mangonel from Puppypaw actually right now is a little bit exposed, and yeah, it looks like Louis, he's just gonna dive onto the golden economy here.
Oh, Mangonel fires out onto the Lancers. Ranged mass still safe and secure for the time being. Puppypaw does have the mass, as we talked about. The 11 scholars aren't very beneficial into these fights, and especially compared to what they used to be with the healing nerfs that we've seen, I think, like 8 different times now because of how OP it used to be.
Oh, the early game so far, it's been pretty catastrophic for Puppypaw to say the least. But I feel like he's somewhat stabilized. Looking at the overall pop, it's 170 to 157. So he's definitely been in worse positions, to say the least. And now, some of the income here, it's going to be idled out. Some villagers do get taken down. And there's also the gold that Louis is on right now. The large gold vein. And I think... Oh, he already has a keep there. Never mind. That is not going to be... These units aren't going to be able to contest that.
He now has a keep on all 3 sacred sites again. So this is where he wants to get that win condition ticking. He wants to get the map control for himself. And Puppypaw, he wants to stop that with the Trebuchet starting to siege down the center now.
Mangonels are starting to creep forward. Springles also have come out for Louis behind this. Puppypaw is going to find that there's a keep here on that large gold. Isn't going to find any value. Has to retreat. There's a Springled emplacement in that outpost, so Louis is gonna have to either get rams or trebuchets of his own in order to start sieging this, because if he gets too close, the Springled emplacement is actually gonna be able to kill the mangonels.
Yeah, he's moving forward with the mangoes again. I think he just wants to continually idle the vills off of gold. He knows his big win condition right now is just Ottoman. They're a very gold-heavy civilization. They like their gold units. And just
get a couple of these knights. 3 knights remaining. Not the worst exchange, and overall destruction value looking pretty good for Puppypaw. He's still messing more and more units, getting close to pop cap. Has lost a couple of units here and there, but we're getting to that point in time where Delhi has keeps on every single sacred site. And sooner or later, Puppypaw is going to have to move out. And right now, look at his food income. Pretty much nothing left in the bank. He needs a farm transition.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't have any food coming into the bank either. Louis has already made a decent farm transition, making more of them, and has almost imp resources into the bank.
Couple of archers going around the way by Puppypaw, around the base from Louis. Might be able to find some value. Mangonel, that shot was personal.
He saw the one villager, he's like, we got it. Sorry, man. You're just in the wrong spot at the wrong time. We got to punish you for it.
Archers just standing by. Looks like the outpost is going to get taken down by the massive spears. It's taking a while. It definitely is taking a while for it to get taken down. And the Palace of the Sultan is coming in. Louis, he's going to be going to Imperial Age, and look at that. With 15 scholars out, he's going to be getting the upgrades at a decent time.
And he has the sacred sites ticking. This is one where it's like, it's forcing Puppypaw to make the reaction. And Puppypaw, as Vodka is highlighting, is at 150 food per minute, has 0 farm transition in the bank. I don't know how Puppypaw is going to try to match this imp or match any army losses. If he loses any army, I don't know how he can remass.
Speaking of losing army, it looks like he's losing Springles now on the front side as well. Lost at least 1 to the Springles from Louis, and now with Imperial coming in, I mean, Puppypaw, he doesn't have any economy upgrades right now, other than double Broadex. Doesn't have Wheelbarrow, doesn't have Horticulture. And Louis, he's getting everything.
Everything. Some of them might take a while, it might take 6 minutes or so, but they're coming, they're on the way.
Speaking of what's on the way, the army from Puppypaw, he says he's waited enough. Now is the time to fight, and he's rushing in. Mangonel's still a little bit exposed here, but they're going to be able to run through the back line. And now they're going to be turning around, and Puppypaw has to be careful. Huge Mangonel should come in.
They can keep fire throughout all of this as well. Springles weren't able to close the gap. Fire down on the Mangonels, and then all of a sudden, Puppypaw, he's got less military than Louis now, and doesn't have any way to mass it back up.
Without any income, there is no way for Puppypaw to get past this keep now, to get enough military units out to get past it. And Louis, it's probably because of the tag EL Elephant for him right now. He's starting to mess elephants up.
I mean, why would you not? Why would you not? You got 2 tower elephants coming out. You have the hand cannoneer elephants coming out of the tower, and Puppypaw's sitting at 166 pop. And look at his Q too. He's got 3 Sipahi and 2 Springles, and I'm pretty sure that's the 3 Sipahi are from his 3 military schools.
Yeah, it's definitely not looking rosy for him right now. I don't see a world in which he's going to be able to decap any of these sacred sites, any of these keeps, and yeah, now
Wheelbarrow's coming in for Puppy though.
I mean, 30-minute Wheelbarrow, we've seen worse. We've definitely seen worse, even in tournament games. Look at the upgrades. They're all coming in one after another now. And Louis, he's on 25 scholars. He's rushing up these upgrades like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, not only does it rush up these upgrades, it starts to pump out these hand cannoneer elephants as well. I believe he has some of those in the tower. Looks like one has already popped on out. So it's a very, very scary military mass that Louis is going to be able to have for himself here.
There's the Sultan's Elite Tower Elephant. Look at that, 32 damage, and it shoots 2 times.
Ooh, and the small archer mass, crossbow mass has decided to hit the wood line. And I mean, Louis at this point, he's like, yeah, these units, they're throwaway units. They got their damage in, they paid for themselves. Elite Lancer here as well. And oh, it wasn't just a small raiding mass. There's the backup mass. Goes ahead, clears the Sipahi. Villagers about to have to fall back away. And what a clinical game by Louis. I just feel like this was all due to the fact that Puppypaw went with that 2TC play from the start.
Yeah, it definitely felt like it was an idea, and maybe if he held on a little bit cleaner, this might have worked out, might have paid off. It's an alternative, right? If you don't want to contest the sacred sites, you go for that second TC in order to get your own scaling in. But it takes a while to pay off, and especially with the Ottomans, you definitely are more incentivized into actually contesting the sacred sites rather than...
villager?
Oh.
I think Louis just wanted to throw away villagers and get military out instead. Takes down the trebuchet with the villagers. And here come the elephants. Look at these units. They're such a cool unit mass. They could take down Siege very, very easily as well with that elephant high base damage on the melee mass, and Springles taking the trades. Elephants look like they didn't even get touched.
And with that, I feel like it's only a matter of seconds now until GG is gonna get called. The elephants marching in, 8 normal elephants, 6 tower elephants with the hand cannoneers out on the field right now. It's just an absolute nightmare right now. Puppypaw, he sees all of these units, but what can he realistically make against those? Not a lot, and GG is getting called. 2-1 on the board now for LoueMT.
Yeah, LoueMT going up 2-1 against Puppypaw, one of the Canadian bros, but the series is still a lot left over. We're going to be going into game number 4 in just a little bit of time, get to see what map and what matchup we got in store for us. But first, let's check and see this villager graph. We can see the second TC play from Puppypaw. He started to build that villager lead and then got crushed. Started to build the villager lead, then got crushed again. And it just shows the aggression by Louis, and the sacred site trickle made it to where the income didn't matter.
let's not forget that this is not like your call to arms Puppypaw. This is peak Puppypaw that Louis is playing against right now. This is the same Puppypaw that in the group stage managed to beat Lucifron. So definitely no pushover here. And Louis, he's putting on an excellent performance for us.
Yeah, really solid play there. You can see from the start how big of a mass that Louis was able to separate himself from the start. And then it just got to the point where it extended into the late game, and Louis created too much of a gap for himself, too much map control, denied a lot of the food for Puppypaw, which Ottomans really struggle with their food transition. So Louis was able to punish that the Civ kind of weakness, I would say. And just a great strategy, great game plan by him. And now we see game number 4 will be on Prairie, and look at the civs.
It's gonna be Byzantines on Prairie against Malians. I'm not sure about this one, but by the way, Anonymous Gifter has come in with the 20 gifted subs. Thank you. Guys, EGC TV, community support goal, bottom right-hand side. You can be there. You can help raise that number up. Every little bit matters. It goes a long way. It helps EGC TV bring you guys all of these amazing tournaments. You can also directly support EGC over on Patreon, patreon.com/EGCTV. And yeah, I mean, there's an awesome amount of tournaments coming in the next kind of like Age of Empires 4 esports season in the next year. The EGC finals rounding out this one, but there's still plenty coming in the next one. But still, we're here in the EGC finals and quarterfinals. This is the first set, but it's already been an absolute banger. And we're going to be going over to game number 4, and we're going to be seeing Byzantines coming out from LoueMT. Now, I've played my share of Byzantine games so far, and I gotta say, they crumble. They crumble against early aggression. They fold. It's like a folding chair. You see a Byzantine player, he's like that folding chair. You throw a stick at him, he folds together. And it's kind of like that. And especially on a map like Prairie. On a map like Prairie, where it is very difficult to defend your economy, where you will have to move out eventually. I'm kind of looking at this. I'm like, Louis, what are you planning here? But we're gonna have to wait and see. It's just gonna be a minute left until we're gonna be going into our next game. And I gotta say, like, if there's a civilization that is known for very fast pressure and like a very good economy behind all of that, it's gonna have to be the Malians.
Yeah, I will say sometimes Mali, just how like other civilizations do, sometimes they take a little bit to get online, but their pressure still comes out early. It's one of these that they'll be having some units, and then all of a sudden they'll have cows, and you'll like circle around with your scouts, and you're like, they have a ton of units. I bet they're only on like 3 cows, and you're like, oh no, they're on 9, they're on 12, and then all of a sudden Castle comes out, they have a free 1,400 food per minute coming in from cows, and it just seems like there's an onslaught that you can't stop coming towards your base.
Yeah, it is very difficult to be able to just keep up with the Malian economy. And let's not forget, these cattle, they don't cost any population space. So it is very easy, even for the Malians in the late game, to have a really strong food economy with all of those passive resources that you get in. Not just the cattle, but the pit mines. And yeah, it's just really strong, the Malians. And we're going to have to see what the Byzantines can do against those. It looks like Louis might have a plan. Since this is going to be Prairie, and he's picked the Byzantines, let's see what he has in store for us.
And here we go. Game number 4 about to begin. Remember, this is the potential game decider, potential game to send Puppypaw home for the year. LoueMT in the south as the Byzantines, Puppypaw in the north as the Malians, and this is Prairie.
And spawning in the color red, we got Puppypaw playing as the Malians, and immediately goes out for the pit mine. Now on Prairie, you spawn with that immediate large gold vein. On the other side, we got Louis playing as the Byzantines. Look at that, he's immediately going for villagers over on wood. This makes me think that maybe he's going to be going for some Dark Age aggression here on a map like Prairie.
You never really know what you have in store, but one thing I'll say is whenever you can put pressure on Malian's pit mines on the houses early, especially when they don't expect it, it can throw them on the back foot, delay some of that eco and aggression, and oh my god, it's a cistern rush. It's a cistern rush.
I was wondering where the cistern was at, but there it is. Forward cistern coming out for Louis. No military units at all, just a lone villager.
And it's right out of vision.
This is so risky. If Puppypaw just spotted this.
And a proxy
barracks. It's gonna be the barracks. This is so good coming out here for Louis. And yeah, Puppypaw has no clue. He doesn't see this at all. Now he is gonna get enough resource stage. There's a way out for Puppypaw. You don't age up with the Manza Quarry. Instead, you age up with the Sultan, with the trade network. You age up with the trade network, and you're gonna be able to protect your gold mine completely. I'm gonna say like 1 or 2 houses are very likely to go down, but if he ages up with the trade network, he should be fine.
Sultani trade network. Is that what it is?
Saharan trade network.
Saharan trade network. There it is. See, we were getting it.
I looked at chat.
I knew it started with an S, and I just couldn't think of it. I was on the tip of my tongue. The good thing for Puppypaw though is he does at least have a back gold vein. It is tucked up next to a tree line or wood line, so he might not be able to get houses all around it, but still can get some passive gold trickle. Louis though, he's investing in an outpost, and Puppy still doesn't have resources to go up to feudal, and he's not going up with he's going with Manticore. He says, all right, take my front gold vein. You can have it. It's all you. And I think Louis is going to be happy with that.
Yeah, it means that Puppypaw, he's not respecting this play right now from Louis, this early aggression, and I think that's definitely a mistake, because Louis, he's investing. No, sure, it's not Mongols. He's not going to get any bounty out of destroying this, but he is going to severely impact Puppypaw's economy, not just by reducing the gold income, but also by denying him population space, which he will have to reinvest into. And that's going to be very, very expensive, considering that we're on a map like Prairie, where wood income can be very, very hard to get.
Yeah, you kind of already can look at Puppypaw's woodlines. I mean, actually, just look at the mini map at the woodlines. There's not an abundance of massive woodlines, and Puppypaw does have these 2 back woodlines. He has the one next to the gold that I mentioned, but that's still not a lot, and you have to spend some of the precious wood on 2 houses. That being said, Puppypaw, he's not spending that wood on a house. He's rushing down an outpost right on next to this gold mine, pit mine, and I think this is going to get up in time, but this is still so much villager idle time.
Yeah, it's villager idle time, but it is definitely necessary to protect that pit mine. Like, investing 100 resource there into that outpost is definitely going to be better than having to reinvest 150 into another pit mine. There we go. Villager goes out as well. But behind that, look at that. He got inside. It's still alive. He's got out. Behind all of this, though, Louis, he activated the shield wall ability on his... has to hop inside again. Is he gonna... He didn't take any damage. He hopped inside. Oh, this one. Oh.
This micro war is absolutely nuts. So what's Louis do? He says, all right, fine. I'll just send another spearman out. He's going to send the low health spearman. Now the low health spearman sits in the outpost. Or not. Never mind. Maybe it doesn't.
Could be going down.
Yep. So the low health spearman should sit in the outpost, and then, or villager, I guess, and then let the, every time the villager pops out for Puppy, it's actually going to take damage. It can't go back and forth.
Honestly, I think Puppy, he should have pulled at least 3 villagers over here to try repair, just because like the pit mine, it's pretty much worth like 3 villagers if it goes down. Oh, Great has come through on the outpost, but the pit mine, it's gonna go down.
Oh, the upgrade was just seconds too late. Villagers, though, somehow Puppypaw never lost a villager. Somehow Louis didn't lose a villager. Louis about a drop off and a half away from being the age up himself.
Yeah, now he did invest a ton, an absolute ton, into these Lametanai, and it really goes to show just how expensive they are on the food, costing 80 instead of 60 that a normal spearman would cost. It definitely delayed his age up by quite a bit. Now, he's just missing a little bit more gold, but He's going to be aging up soon. The question is, what is he going to be aging up with? Is it going to be the Grand Winery, or is it going to be that Hippodrome landmark? Should be the Hippodrome if he plans to play this aggressively, but it is going to be the Grand Winery instead, so looks from here on out, this might be a little bit more for passive, or maybe just a mercenary kind of game, where he focuses on getting those mercenaries out.
There's that second pit mine, as I mentioned earlier. You can't get houses all the way around it because of that wood line, but at least you can get a few. So wants to get some more of that gold trickle, but this is such a good delay that Louis has been able to cause from the other side. Still has a nice little front line. And so what's Puppypaw do? He needs range to kill those kill that nice little front line that he's got. 3 jab throwers in queue already.
Now, an issue here that's going to be coming in for Louis is he's got that cistern all the way forward. What's that going to give him?
Well, he's going to be boosting up.
Yeah, he built another at home, but this one already cost him 100 stone instead of 50. So all of these additional cisterns that he's going to be building inside of his base, they're all going to be more expensive than they ideally would be. So it's going to take longer, and behind all of that, like, the main bonus for the Byzantines, getting that early cistern in, so you get that early economy, that's completely gone here for Louis, pretty much. Or rather, it's been gone for the most part of the game. We can see that being reflected in the income right now, in the overall income. Puppypaw, he's getting pretty much 1,000 resource per minute. Louis, he's getting like 600. 500 to 600.
That being said, he did have about, 6 or so villagers on the Grand Winery, but still, not as much of an eco difference as you would have expected with, not having a pit mine, all these different things, because Mali, they have other passive resources. They have the Mansa Quarry. They have the other pit mine that Puppypaw has been able to get over and onto. But the outpost still on the front side, not only has this, denied the front pit mine and the front gold vein, but it provides so much vision and information for Louis.
Yeah, but now look who's investing into archers while there's already 4 javelin throwers out on the field. This is going to hurt Louis. I'm wondering what he's going to go for, if he's going to go into the mercenary kind of play. Can we take a quick look at the neutral markets in the corners, see what kind of mercenaries are available here to these players? We got Royal Knights, okay, and Horse Archers. Like, the Royal Knights are definitely a nice value to get. We got Mercenary Crossbowmen and some Sipahi as well. Now, interestingly enough, you only need to build a mercenary house on these true trade posts for your Golden Horn Tower, your landmark, your Castle Age landmark, to also have the ability to randomly produce these unique units from the neutral trade post as well. So if you build a mercenary house in the one next to the one that has the Royal Knights, you could randomly just get Royal Knights from your Golden Horn Tower.
Scout almost gets taken out. Puppypaw was moving out with a few javelin throwers and a Donzo to maybe do some raid and maybe just cause a little bit of an annoyance. But again, the outpost from Louis allowed him to see all of that, pulls some of those warriors back. And is not going to be up much longer, as there is a ram that is being built from Puppypaw.
Yeah, and there's nothing really that Louis can do to prevent that ram from taking down that outpost. I mean, there's already an outpost with emplacement there for Puppypaw. None of the units from Louis have armor on them. And here we go. Upgrade is going to be coming in. That looks like it's going to be the Western Mercenary contract for Louis, so it looks like there's going to be Longbowmen.
I mean, the Longbowmen are great at sniping out the Donzos. What?
That's expensive. Is it? That should be pretty expensive.
And he's building it from the side of the cistern as the ram is heading towards into the outpost, and I'm just appalled right now at what he's doing.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is gonna work out for him.
I think he should cancel it.
I'm correcting myself. I am sure that this is not gonna work out for him.
Please cancel this. He's building it from the wrong side too. Like, if you like, I'm just.
He tried
I'm at
something. He tried something, but that is a big but here in this conversation, because you're in such an important game. I don't think that this is going to be the right time to try such a risky strategy here. Just taking the Byzantines. There's so many really strong civilizations why would you choose the Byzantines in its current state? Like, I get playing the Byzantines on ladder maps, but in tournaments, in their current shape, it is definitely a game that is stacked against you. But yeah, this strategy I don't think is fully fleshed out.
Chooses to take the fight. I think Spear Wall potentially has been activated. Archers sniping down the Donzo the best they can, but the archers get killed so fast from the javelin throwers on the other side. Louis trying to defend up this location, trying to defend up that proxy cistern that he has.
Another issue is that once you activate the shield wall on these Limitane, suddenly once they start fighting against the Donzos, they have 25% less attack speed. And 25% less attack speed on a unit with a base attack speed value of 1.88. They're turtles. It takes a ton of time for them to attack. Oh, he's finishing it up.
Thank God he's finishing up the, so necessary here.
The sister's gonna go down. I gotta say though, like this, it looks pretty. It looks pretty. He's getting style points for that one.
Oh, the Ram though. The Ram might get taken down. He wants this cistern alive.
Does he have a villager trying to repair that one? Is there a villager on the way, potentially? But even if there was, the Donzos at this point should be able to finish it off. There were some longbowmen out as well. They've been mostly cleaned up now. Look at the shield wall, though. Like, these Limitane, they're so tanky against these range attacks.
Well, he got Cistern level 2.
He's gotten Cistern level 2. Question's gonna be for how long, and behind this, the Grand Falani Corral is gonna be coming in, and Louis... I'm not sure about you, but guessing how many minutes it's gonna be until he reaches Castle Age, I'm gonna say it's not gonna happen in this one.
I think that Louis is just a man of the people, and he said, we want a game 5. We want the first series of the day to get extended, and that's the main reason why he's doing this. He's putting on a show over here.
Definitely is. But as soon as that Grand Falani Corral is coming in, the theme of the show is definitely going to change immediately. And yeah, that cistern has been going down. It's still beautiful, like having this one large blue line, the aqueduct just running all the way from the base, from Louis, to the base of Puppypaw. Now Ajab comes in, and immediately Louis was about to retreat. He's like, oh no, Ajab has come in, I can't retreat further. Upgrades are coming in for Puppypaw. Veterans, the upgrades coming in. It's still like mostly just Limitane and archers. Javelin throws should be doing great against all of these. Another ram is coming in now.
This is a ram for Louis, so it's not necessarily just a regular ram, as this is the Byzantine, so we're going to see some flames on the ground.
Yeah, the Kirasiphon coming out here. And now, Veterancy has come in. Spearman. Still going to be as slow as ever, but now with much more damage coming out with these attacks from the Javelin throws. Yeah, the Limitane are going to be taking a bit more damage now at the very least.
They're starting to run on forward. Ram headed towards that front pit mine yet again.
I mean, there's no damage coming out from the archer or from the longbowman against these javelin throws now. Looks like Puppypaw, he started to focus down just the archers. Means that his Donzos will be able to fight on the front lines, but looks like Louis at the same time also focusing down these Donzos. Military count starting to decrease here. Some javelin throwers shot the Kirasiphon there, now retargeting. They're actually doing some good damage here.
Yeah, it almost feels like one of those, like, just throw some spears into javs because they're, slow wind-up attack, and the javelins, they actually have to fall back. Puppypaw's only at 9 over here. He's at single-digit military count and starting to lose this front side positioning. Pit mine goes down, houses are going to start falling as well.
Yeah, it seems like it's just a production issue for him right now, not having enough production buildings. And the difficult thing for him is, he doesn't get any men-at-arms.
Look at how fast this thing takes down the houses.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how quickly that the Kirasiphon takes down the house. And Puppypaw's house right now.
And he's going to continue to be housed if he doesn't build them up. But Louis, he actually sends it on over to the cows, I believe, as it's on the front side of Puppy's base. He wants to start to delay some of this constant food production and burn some of these units as well.
Yeah, the Greek oil definitely doing some good damage there. Actually, Puppypaw pulls the villagers that were trying to make the houses now. Starts to try and take down the Kira Siphon here. Villagers getting pulled, and the Kira Siphon doesn't have a lot of HP. It's gonna go down really quickly.
Good thing Puppypaw didn't run into that fire, as I've seen some players make that mistake and stand in it a little too long and lose all the villagers they pulled to burn down the ram. But after all of this, it felt like a great push from Louie, although it didn't seem like it was going to actually work. He's still not to Castle Age behind this. He's about halfway there.
He's gotten the gold that he needs for it, so definitely on his way to it.
He's still at Cistern level 1. How sad with this wall.
Yeah, this is... Wait, he's just building it in the front line. Another Kira Siphon coming out. I mean, Puppypaw, he just needs archers, honestly, at this point in time. If he just gets some archers out, the bonus damage, it's going to make a big difference, especially with veterans here on the archers against all of these limit May. Once they get the shield wall up, you're still going to be doing a lot of damage against them. Doesn't opt into that one, though. Another thing that you can make, like, sure, in theory, Libidinate, they counter the sofas. But once they go into shield wall, they attack so slowly, it takes them a good bit of time to take down the sofas. And since they're only feudal age as well, sofas would still be a very good option here for Puppypaw to go into. I just think that only javelin throws long term isn't going to work for him. But now we see Goldenhorn Tower coming in for Louis, so Castle Age right around the corner. Question's gonna be though, if Puppypaw is able to push across the map, and Louis doesn't have any farm set up at all, this is gonna be very, very difficult for Louis to defend on all of these different angles.
And look at the reinforcing units from Puppypaw. You just see a red stream coming across the map. It's just nonstop production of these javelin throwers. So this javelin mass, it's just going to continue to climb. And this is the problem with Mali. Once you let them breathe for a second, their eco gets fully set up. That cow boom is fully online. The production is fully online, which was hampering him earlier, but now it's not. And so he's all good to go.
Yeah, a lot of javelin throws now out on the field, and I mean, sure, the Goldenhorn Tower is in now, so 3 units are going to be built, but the production rate of that Goldenhorn Tower, it's not going to be great when you're only at Cistern level 1, and some villagers are going to be found out here now.
A few villagers fall. Sad day for the Byzantines, and let's see if Louis will be able to hold this little javelin push. One benefit for him is Puppypaw has actually split the army into 2 different groupings, so could allow Louis to potentially close the gap on one of them, kill out some of the units with his full mass, and then defend up the other spot. But as we just heard a couple of additional sirens go, Louis' food is starting to be focused, starting to be pressured. Will be very difficult for him to sustain any military production.
Yeah, looks like behind all of that, Louis, he's sped up, built a siege workshop, and now is trying to get a mangonel out. Tries to maybe go into the siege game here that could try and give him a way to maybe recover in this one. But now, with the collapse on his economy from all different sides with the Malians, I feel like this game is over at this point in time. I don't think there is anything that Louis can do to come back in this one, and it seems like he agrees as game is going to get called. Once again, Sirius is getting tied up 2-2. We're going all the way to game 5.
We at least had some excitement to start out. We saw the Cistern rush, but Puppypaw, he didn't overreact. He stayed calm, stayed collected, just slowly built up his mass, took down the outpost, and I still have a highly questionable. The biggest thing I want to ask Louis right now is what he was thinking with that Cistern.
Who did he practice that against to make him believe that that is going to be a great strategy? Like, if he played that against me and he got the impression, I would apologize to him right now. I'm sorry, but that Byzantines right now, I just don't feel like they're that great against like in tournaments. I just personally would recommend to not play Byzantines in tournaments at the moment.
Well, the amount of stone he used on that whole entire Cistern.
I would love to know how much that was exactly. I feel like that probably was like 100, maybe 100, 120.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe more.
Just use that to drop an extra Cistern at home, extend it out to your deer, extend it out to your berries, get your economy at home actually boosted up, because you don't really need your your forward cistern to be in the influence that much.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's see. This is going to be it. Match point for both of these players. Game number 5, first set here in the EGC finals, in the playoffs. And look at that. It's going to be Gorge versus Jeanne d'Arc. And I mean, Roos has to be kind of smiling here right now because they're going to be killing all the wolves on this map and not leaving a lot of experience left there for Jeanne.
Yeah, the same thing though could be said. Jeanne at least moves out, kills that boar pretty quickly, but you can't be too quick about it, or else Roos might have that night out depending on what build they can do. So we'll see what kind of builds are going to be done by either side. Jeanne loves fighting. So anything you can do to force fighting is always a benefit. I know we saw yesterday, I think Mista went with a little bit of some trade to force that out. There's all these different ways to do it. And so let's see what Puppypaw has in mind.
Yeah, but I think at the same time, like when you play against the Roos, if there's anything that's difficult, it's aggression. Aggressing onto the Roos. They get that Gremlin, they get those free, not free, but like very cheap Gremlins out there. And I think the Gremlins actually don't provide any experience to Jeanne. If I remember correctly, I don't think they really count as any experience units. I think it's just +0 that you see whenever one of those goes down. I think maybe this might be a situation where Jeanne would be better off just playing a little bit more passive, maybe go for additional town centers as well. Because that's also a very valid strategy with Jeanne, because it is very difficult to punish greed with Jeanne d'Arc, because then you would have to fight. And that's once again, that's the thing that you don't want to actually do against Jeanne, and it kind of forces the issue that Jeanne is going to eventually be reaching that level 3, and yeah, it's a difficult situation for both of these players. Probably it's a matchup that I don't think we've seen a ton of times. It's only limited amount of time since the expansion came out, and I don't think there's been a lot of Roos versus Jeanne practice on Gorge.
Yeah, and so one thing to think about with Jeanne, as compared to obviously the French civilization, since she is the alternate, is you don't always have the same or the same kind of economy, same technology, same cheapness. So there's these slight differences, and the key benefit for her is the consecration ability. So even if you do build that second TC, you can almost act like the Abbasid with fresh foodstuffs when you have the consecration built on top of those TCs, on top of your stables, to make your knights cost a good bit cheaper as far as the food count goes too.
Yeah, getting that consecration out early on all of these different buildings, just getting those very cheap units on your TCs as well. If you go for multiple TCs, you can consecrate them, and then it's pretty much similar as if you were playing the Abbasid. You're gonna get a lot of very cheap villagers out, and yeah, it's a pretty interesting matchup that we're gonna be seeing here. It depends on if Jeanne is gonna be playing that passive playstyle or if she's gonna be playing that aggressive playstyle. I'm not 100% sure. I guess it really depends on how Puppypaw is going to be playing this one with Jeanne. But Roos is definitely, I think many people said, like probably one of the best civilizations to pick against Jeanne, just because you have these defensive capabilities with the Kremlin, with the hunt denial to like deny experience, and yeah, I would actually favor Roos here in this matchup, I gotta say.
Yeah, one thing, Puppy, obviously, he knows how to play Roos. Louis banned out his Roos, didn't want to allow that opportunity. Roos, that Civ that can be utilized on a lot of different maps, whether it's hybrid, whether it's land, they're just kind of good all over the place. And so Puppypaw probably at least, has a game plan going into this, but let's see what we have in store for us. Remember, this is the game decider, elimination game. Loser goes home for the year of this final tournament. So let's see what we have in store.
All right, game number 5. And we're heading in, starting off in the color red, playing Jeanne d'Arc. We're here on Gorge. It's going to be one Puppypaw. And on the other side, playing as the Roos, we got LoueMT, and immediately we can see Puppypaw going for those tier kills. Now, looks like he isn't going to be going into Second Scout. Jeanne d'Arc, unlike the French, they don't get the better production speed on the villagers and the scouts. So making a scout as Jeanne d'Arc, another scout as Jeanne d'Arc, it's going to take the full 25 seconds rather than just 22 seconds that the French would need.
Yeah, provides a little bit of that negative side effect, these little slight differences that you don't always think about when you first play the Civilization. I remember when I was, first got to try out the Civs and I was trying to do the normal French build order and I was like, "Oh, you can't do all the same things. You don't have the same, cheap resource drop-offs or all these different little ideas."
Exactly. So it will need to be played a little bit differently. Now it looks like Puppypaw has got a decent little scout pattern here going for himself. Managed to find 6 sheep. With a single scout against the roost, you can be quite happy with that. You might have found way less here. And he also knows that his second deer spawn is going to be on the other side, but it looks like Louis probably has a similar idea. Yeah, he's immediately going to head around side, and looks like this might be a situation where Louis gets 3 out of the 4 deer spots if he arrives in time.
Yeah, and this is one on Gorge. It almost always seems like your first deer is kind of close to your base, whether it's forward or behind. But your second one, it always feels like is in the corner of the map. Same thing with the boar, and that's how it is for both of these players. Puppypaw is headed that way, but it's going to be a little bit of a micro war over this last deer camp.
I'm not sure if Puppypaw is going to find them immediately. The deer are kind of hiding behind that woodline. Looks like he's finding them, though. Finds the wolf first. He's marking that one down. Now he finds the deer. Deer definitely take priority here. They're very fast to kill. Louis also found the deer.
Oh. It actually... God, here comes this micro battle. Louis has been able to get a couple of them.
We're just getting kind of silent here, watching how this micro battle turns out, but it looks like Louis, he's gotten a couple of the deer. I think it's like overall 3 deer that Louis got and Puppypaw got 4. But definitely not a bad bounty game here.
Yeah, does spot out that other wolf. We saw him attack it earlier, so he definitely knows it's there. And he's picked up another 2 wolves with his other scout on the south side. Puppypaw, though. Oh, Puppypaw steals the wolf. What a good denial there by Puppypaw.
Now School of Cavalry being built by Jean herself. Means that this is going to be a 445 age up coming in for Puppypaw. And with that, he's immediately going to be able to go to level 2 and that Louis. Beautiful Kremlin position for him here, protecting both the gold and the stone.
Yeah, who cares that you got forward? Like, if this is Jean's side, it's like, oh my god, I have forward gold. My next gold is so far away. This is an awful spawn. As the Roost, you're like, I'll drop a Kremlin. This is a fine spawn. Lovely spot.
Yeah, and this is also going to connect to his TC with the Kremlin aura. So he might need 2 lumber camps in order to connect all the way to his woodline, but he is going to be able to benefit from that increased wood gathering.
And I feel like Louis behind this has been able to pick up 4 wolves at least or so. So solid pickups for him.
What do you think the bounty is going to be? I'm guessing roughly 280 for Louis right now.
I'm going to go 305.
305. Okay, let's check it out. It's going to be 260. Okay, so not as decisive here right now for Louis as we might have thought. Oh, look at that. He's going for more scouts. This could be Pro Scout.
Ooh, I love the Pro Scouts play, stealing away the close deer from your opponent, or even the secondary deer from your opponent can just cause this huge fallback when it comes into this food transition, and Puppypaw's heavy onto the stone. He wants to go second TC, and where are you going to drop your second TC? It's going to be
Louis also going to go second TC. Yeah, Louis behind all of this, he's also going to be going second TC, but that's a little bit tricky now because it's going to be delayed because he already invested a lot of resource into getting the Pro Scouts, and an issue here could be for Louis that if John reaches level 2, she gets melee form, she's at 1.38 movement speed. She's going to be faster than the Scouts.
Scouts, though, they're waiting over next to that deer. Jean, she wants to go kill the boar, though. Yeah, I think Louis knows this. He knows that, like, her biggest priority right off the bat, once she ages up, it's to go ahead and get that free XP. You can go ahead and secure yourself. I think it's 25 XP right off the bat now. And so that's exactly what Puppypaw is going to do. Meanwhile, Louis, he's just causing some annoyance with these scouts circled out and around. But right when Pro Scouts finishes, I'm sure he's about to go snag some of those deer.
Yeah, already has a scout also on the other deer spot. in the corner for Puppypaw. So definitely is going to be snagging himself a couple of those. Something else that's nice is Puppypaw killing that boar next to the gold means that if he puts an outpost there, not only is he going to be able to protect the boar, but also going to be able to protect the gold. Oh, looks like Louis, he noticed.
Yeah.
I put it back. It's fine. I put it back. Nah, he's gonna go around the side, and looks like Puppypaw isn't gonna be noticing that one. He's just gonna go straight over to the next to the next spore in the corner there. Yeah.
And the secondary TC, it's not going to be going on either the deer. It's going on that boar he killed. And the boar in the gold. Lovely, lovely location. Has the berries right behind it. Just so many resources. Imagine if this were a meditation gardens.
Yeah, this would have been a really, really nice spot for that one. Looks like a scout are gonna find that second TC. Second TC going out for both players.
So knows exactly the game plan. Puppypaw does secure up a significant amount of food. Has scouted out the pro scout's place. So sees those initial deer just being taken on away in front of his eyes, and nothing he can really do about it. He's trying his best with his scout to deny that, but that's about all he's got. Ooh, first night though, gets body blocked a little bit and isn't able to finish off the villager. Look at that little bit of micro by Louis.
Looks like there's going to be a barracks coming in now, so we're going to be seeing spearmen, but spearmen are one of the things that you don't want to be making against Ron. Those can be very, very easily picked off, and they don't do a ton of damage to Ron in her melee form. Spearmen also coming out from Puppypaw on the other side of the map. Both players right now just sitting on that 2 TC economy.
I find Spearman to be a huge bait playing against Sean. Like, obviously you feel like you need to playing against, Royal Knights on the other side, but then it's like she casts the AoE ability once, and then the Royal Knights just finish up all of the Spearmen that are low health. Puppypaw's first night. It gets sniped out. The little bit of a wall from Louis makes it to where it can't escape well and takes out so much town center fire. You might not think like that's much, but no damage done from the first night and loses his life.
Oh, look at that. Puppypaw walling in his deer spot there. I like that play. It means that there's not going to be any stealing going on by Louis. Now, Louis got one of the deer here, but there's still going to be 6 deer remaining. That's still a lot of food.
Yeah, it is. And he was able to at least snag out. He wasn't able to fully secure some from the initial deer pack, but he was able to bring them a good ways over to his side. I think Puppypaw has a spear or so sitting there waiting. Yeah, 2 spears waiting for the scouts to come by. Still, though, Louis has been slowly gathering his deer as well from his side, just gathering them up nice and secure food under his town centers.
Yeah, now Louis is starting to invest into military. Knight in queue now as well. First farm coming out for Puppypaw. I like the play with just a couple of farms every now and then. It means that he's always going to have like this at least fallback food economy. So even if he runs out of food under his TC and the villagers need to walk a little bit, he's still going to have enough food income to produce out of his TC.
Yeah, and Louis is doing the same. He's actually already got 3-4 farms as well. So just planning, knowing, and this is, I want to say, a direct feedback from this map. This map forces you to go out so far on the edges. If you don't have the edges secured, you can't secure food, which it's so hard to do against Knight Civilization.
Knight found John. He has to run. He cannot fight against a Knight here. Now she might be able to heal one time, but...
Yep. She activated her AoE ability though too, so getting that out without like a spear mass is so nice. I'm not sure if Louis is going to be able to finish this off with the Royal Knights coming in reinforcements, but still so much damage that he was able to get down.
Yeah, Shun though, she is now going to regenerate at 1.5 or was it 2 health per second? She's definitely going to regenerate now at a very good pace, so yeah, the health is going back up again.
Yep. Q ability not too far away from being secured. Can we check Puppypaw's base, see what he has consecrated on his side? It's actually the barracks. So barracks and stables.
Did you consecrate the secondary TC?
Oh, nope.
Did
No
not.
TCs
Okay.
consecrated yet. So still spending the full amount of food on those TCs. He's actually trying to go wall out the western side, right in front of the market too. You know, sometimes earlier in the game, you'll be like, okay, it doesn't really matter if you wall the market out, but he just planning on the potential later stages. Good little surround. Spearmen are here. Jean is here. And Louis is taking the fight. AoE goes down on the spears. That's what we talked about. All those spears are so low now. Another one falls.
Jean gets focused though. Jean takes a lot of damage and Jean is going to go down.
Jean falls. The rest of Puppypaw's army falls with it as well. There's one single knight left after this that was there forward.
Overall though, Puppypaw got a good amount of destruction value from that fight.
Yeah, there were a lot of
I don't
knights
think it
that
was
went
too
down.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 250 gold to rebuy Jean. He did so instantly. But yeah, I think overall not the worst trade here for him.
Yeah, it could have definitely been a lot worse, and that at least gave him some experience for Jean. It might not have gotten the full amount, as I think he missed 2 knights falling after Jean died, so a solid extra like 50 XP she could have gotten. But even still, she's right back into the fight. The numbers leaning towards Puppypaw's side as far as overall.
And I think it's only going to be like 2 more minutes until Jean is going to be able to go to that level 3 mark. But Louis behind all of that, he's getting really close to Castle Age, and he's still got enough military out to be able to hold if Puppypaw goes for an attack.
Yep. Louis, he actually just queued up a few more knights. This is kind of one of those weird balances to where it's like you want to drop castle, but you still have to continually respect your opponent. So you have to continue to produce and just castle when this kind of timing allows.
These walls able to deny these knights here entry in the backside of Puppypaw space. Looks like slowly but surely Puppypaw actually managed to get a little bit of a will advantage here. And look at that. Yeah, the militia coming out. Puppypaw's just going to fall back here for now. It's going to have to fall back for a while against these. And yeah, I don't think they give any experience. So there's no real incentive right now for Puppypaw to turn around and fight this.
Yeah. Didn't want Jean to get that the extra XP for getting that building taken on down. Knights on the west side that Louis was trying to kill some reinforcements with, doing their job though as Puppy. He didn't send in reinforcements to the southern side spot. He's been sending them over to the west now, and the high trade house is on its way with walls down as well.
Yeah, the second LoueMT clicks up to the next age. He's putting down walls. He's going to make a choke point in front of his base.
It's Jean against all those spears, though.
Yeah, the question's going to be, like, I think the spear's already pulled back for the most part. I think it's only the militia chasing right now after, and look at that. Yeah, it's just the militia. Guildhall coming in as well from Puppypaw. It's not a big difference, but the knights are coming in now from Puppypaw on the age up. And the militia expired. None experience gained, though, but here come the knights. Villager goes down. Another villager goes down.
Huge circle around for Puppypaw with his knights. First couple Vil picks of the game. The villagers go back to the high trade house, but it can't finish this. This timing is so key. Louis, though, his knights finally arrive in defense, and Puppypaw reacts, pulls on away, no problem. And more villagers going to be picked off too.
This is a very good trade now for Puppypaw. He managed to delay the age up by enough to where he's actually getting the age up at the same time now.
Age up at the same time. Louis still trying to force these knights on away, and all of those royal knights are essentially like full health, it feels like. I don't know what those villagers are heading towards either.
Yeah, a little bit of idle time coming in from there. Both players now researching all of their veterancy upgrades. Puppypaw, he's not in a bad spot now at all, and definitely a better spot than he would have been if he just tried to force the issue in Feudal Age. And I think Jean, at this point in time, she's getting very close to her level 3 form, surely.
Yeah, she's got to be right around the corner. She hasn't gotten too much XP from fighting, but I think it's just been enough. It did get the boar, can't forget about that, and I'm pretty sure she secured the second one as well from the south side.
Yeah, definitely, and 5 villager advantage right now for Puppypaw. It's not much, but it's solid. It's honest work, and both players getting some passive income now through their Castle Age landmarks.
Yep. Louis is going to be the first one to go for the Oh, I'm wrong. Oh, it's Jean. Louis is going to be the first one to go for the relics. Jean can capture the sacred sites, so that's what Puppypaw is going to go ahead and snag for himself, or was going to. Maybe he's going to go for
the military. He sees the military from Louis on the side, and he definitely wants to have Ron there if there's any fighting going on.
Starting to move
I think
up on
Puppypaw
that
should
southern side.
finish that wall up. He's almost walled the entire map. Right now coming in the middle, Royal Knight gets taken down.
Some of those reinforcing units from Puppypaw split off a little bit, so nice little pickup from Louis, but both of these armies kind of just staring at each other. Puppypaw on top of the hill, Louis sitting at the bottom, and no huge engagement happening, as it's always scary when you take engagements with Jean d'Arc on the battlefield.
Exactly. Now, wall starting to get burnt down. Looks like Louis, he's hesitant right now to attack the army from Puppypaw. Oh, he called the militia. He's waiting for that. Now the militia coming in. Puppypaw sees the army heading towards him. I think even with the militia, it's probably not enough.
Yep. Immediately, militia get focused on in. We saw the +0. Jean did the AoE ability. Not a great one. It immediately gets taken out. What a huge pickup from Louis. And Louis, he looks like he has numbers. Knights, though, they're circling around onto spears. The Knights from Puppypaw fall back, trying to get another charge on in. And it does look like the engagement somewhat even so far. But the big key was Jean falling so early on. None of this XP goes on over to her.
Yeah, not getting any experience from that fight. It takes... You really need level 3 for that. It doesn't take a lot of shots from crossbowmen in level 2 form to take her down. You need level 3 in order to take 50% reduced damage from ranged attacks. That's when Jean d'Arc really becomes tanky, even against crossbowman shots. And there she is again, Jean d'Arc back on the field, able to take down some of the knights here with the crossbowman. That's going to be huge experience for her. If they're able to take down 90, plus 24 experience, that's huge. Might have been enough for level 3. Doesn't look so like it's quite enough yet. Oh, she gets taken down again.
Oh, she immediately falls yet again, and all of the knights fall with it. This is such a bad engagement from Puppypaw on the second one. Now he has to fall back home. He didn't complete the wall, like you said, and he is in a scary situation. The ARBs, it's all slow-moving military, and yeah, it might be spears from Louis, but spears have closed the gap. They're on top of the ARBs, and there's more ranged reinforcements from Louis on the way.
Exactly, and because Jean d'Arc fell twice in a short amount of time, you are not able to immediately buy her back. There's a cooldown on the buyback. Puppypaw is not going to be able to just immediately get her out again, and he definitely needs to.
Behind this, Louis does look like he has 2 relics on the way home. I'm not sure where the relics were taken from, but they are on the way. One just got dropped on in and should at least be able to secure another one. The final 2 behind Puppypaw's walls, so it might be a little bit more difficult to get the last 2 relics.
Louis behind all of this, he's already gotten an assorted farm transition for himself. Good income right now, looking definitely a lot better for Louis. Overall, looking at the income, it's looking very solid.
Yeah, it's one of these. He still probably has a few more of delayed the food transitions with those deer that he was able to steal on over from the other side. Warrior Monk gets taken out by the spear mass from Puppy, and Puppy is just still sitting on the all infantry as Jean.
I feel like Puppypaw, he must have been insanely close to that level 3, else there is no explanation why he went so deep in once again with Jean d'Arc. And more walls now coming up for Louis. Tries to split up this map. Units now for both players, but Puppypaw, I mean, in theory, he's got the superior crossbowman with the Arbaletria. If it comes to crossbowman war, Puppypaw should be looking very favorable in the engagements. And now Jean returns.
Look at the army value, though. It's just so favorable on Louis' side. He's not only does he have his own crossbowmen, not ARBs, he's got the same number of spears, but then you also throw an extra 10 knights into the mix on his side. That's the key difference for him. And if he has a warrior monk after securing all these relics there, can get a little bit of that Saint's Blessing buff on him.
I would say the 10 knights are actually the only difference right now between them when it comes to the army value. And I mean, all the units from Puppypaw counter the knights, so I don't think that that's a really great unit to have out right now. Only if he's able to get some raids, and once again, he's trying to go for that wall attack.
Exactly that. It's knights. The mobile units are really good at splitting up the forces, splitting up those slow-moving forces. If they come to you in small numbers, then you can take out those small numbers. If they come to you with the whole mass, well, now that allows you to just run back home, delay this fight and main engagement up for a little bit longer.
Oh, there we go. Level 3 has just come in for John and immediately able to spawn those men-at-arms for free. I think in this one, going for the cavalry unique unit would have also been an option for Puppypaw. But the extra men-at-arms are definitely always nice because they do a lot of bonus damage. And Spezkaya Tower coming in for Louis in the front as well of his base. And he's going to play this one the long game. But Puppypaw, he's also just about able to go to the next age. And he's going to be going up with the Red Palace, surely.
Yep, about to be able to click that age up in a second. Walls getting burnt down by Puppypaw. Walls getting burnt down by Louis. But the Knights are through and on the way. 51 villagers on the Red Palace. The Knights are on the way there. The Knights are on the way there.
They are. They're right around the corner. That's a lot of villagers getting pulled. Trying to rush that Red Palace up as soon as possible. There we go. Knights find out, though.
There's so many Knights here. The Knights from Puppypaw, they're on the way back, but they're just not going to be there fast enough. The damage that's going to be done right now. He was 0 Vil kills. He's already at 10.
Oh my god, the Red Palace finishes, but 16 villagers get taken down. A lot of the Knights get taken down now as well, but this does not feel like it was worth it for Puppypaw, as now he's on 90 villagers. Gets a couple of villagers himself, though, potentially with a cleave attack. Doesn't get enough, only 1 villager.
Just not quite the same return damage, and still on the way out from those Knights, Louis was able to pick up a few more Vils on the farms and still has a few Knights alive and breathing.
All of the gold from Puppypaw is on that left side, so getting that Red Palace there is going to mean that he is going to have long time access to that gold. Without really too much fear of that getting taken down, but looks like this army might actually get caught off guard now, as Louis, his army, might be there to just squeeze in the army from Puppypaw.
Yep, starting to move forward. They dive on in. Knights, though, immediately jump on into a brace. Not a great first look. Jean going with that AoE cleave attack. Going ahead and getting the healing in as well. She's at about a quarter health. Trying to be focused down, but couldn't be. Louis, though, continuing to move forward with this whole mass, surrounding the army. And now Jean gets taken down, and all of the Arbs are surrounded currently.
Where's the Pavisa on the Arbaletria? It's not coming in. He's missing out on 5 bonus ranged armor.
Could have been so crucial during that fight. There's so many ranged units there from Louis, and he's got 19 more horsemen in queue. He's making a full horseman transition right now.
All of a sudden, though, Louis' food income, it's kind of plummeted. Looks like he was still on external resources there for quite a long time. And all of those now going expiring. So if the farm transition isn't really that solid for Louis, I think massing horsemen now, it's probably not the best idea for him. And there's still a lot of spearmen coming out.
Villagers on the stone starting to get focused. And yes, Puppy indeed does have spearmen, does have Arbs and queues. So will still have the good spearmen to defend up his Arbs from that horseman mass.
And all of this, Puppy, slowly but surely, was able to remass his villager count as well.
He's trying to re-wall back up, not allow Louis a way through into his base, but Louis, he double-walled and built an outpost, so wants to make sure he has a route in, he has a way to make sure Puppy is constantly on the back foot. He's starting to drop a keep on the eastern side, secure more of this map control for himself as well.
We gotta look at the guild hall right now for Puppypaw. We're gonna have to see what exactly he's getting with it. There it is. Looks like he recently took some out of it, and it's some gold right now.
I feel like he used it for that Imperial Age up, and then it's just been slowly gathering up since then.
There's a big horseman mass out there. But the crossbowman from Puppypaw, can we check? He must have gotten Gambersons in by now. We still got to check, though, if the Arbaletria do have that Gamberson upgrade on them. They do. +9 armor overall. Instead, the horseman, I mean, they're still going to do a good bit of damage, but +9 armor, it makes a big difference.
The thing here, though, is this, I don't think Louis is just going to go for this head-on engagement. I think he's going to use those horsemen as raiding units, burn the walls, push and pull this army. It's a slow-moving infantry army. You send 10 crossbows, they can't deal with the horseman mass. You have to send your whole army, and then what's Louis going to do? He's going to move up on the other side, drop more outposts, drop more walls, everything that we've constantly been seeing him do in the previous games. and he has moved on into the base already now, again.
Keep going up, and the TCs, they do have that red palace emplacement. Now, the red palace emplacement has been nerfed recently for DrDark and the French, and doesn't do quite as much damage anymore as it used to. That's not going to be enough spearmen here. Villagers running towards the horseman here. Trying to say hello.
And see, even though that there's some spearmen there, it's just not the correct counter unit, not the correct mass that he can send there to be able to defend this up. So take some damage, but Puppypaw is sieging down a keep and tanking it on up with Jean.
Yeah, it does fall back from that though. Keep is going to be proving to be a little bit too tanky here. And Louis, he's working on getting those gunpowder units out. Those Streltsy.
There it is. The Streltsy are on their way. 5 more in queue, 7 already out. And this is where I see Louis do this so much. Immediately go into Rams, immediately put the pressure on. He already has a huge farm transition. He's been causing a ton of idle time, so he knows Puppy is having a little bit of a struggling time massing back up and taking these holds. Yeah, Puppy's got 48 arbs, 21 spears, but that can't defend everywhere.
Incendiaries coming in. That's going to be a huge upgrade here for Puppypaw. All of these crossbowmen are going to get a lot more damage in, especially against these horsemen. A lot more damage is going to be able to come through, and with this many crossbowmen, I think you can actually take fights even against the Streltsy. Cannonball. DrDark doesn't even flinch. And Puppypaw is getting a lot of stone in behind all of that. I think he's going to be able to get into a position soon where he can just stonewall the entire map. If he's able to stonewall these raids with the horsemen, they're not going to be hurting him anymore.
Louis, though, he's moving up. He's taking the additional sacred sites. He's dropping keeps on those sacred sites. And Puppy, he's slowly running out of gold. He already full gathered that 8k gold vein next to his red palace. He's on to the next gold vein. And then he still has this original one next to his home TC. But I think that's it.
Yeah, resources are starting to run thin here now between these players. Puppypaw's food income actually kind of plummeted once again. He was up to like 1,500 just with farms alone. But these raids from the horsemen, they've actually done a great job here of reducing the income from Puppypaw. And once again, the horsemen come in. Villagers not getting put inside the TCs. There we go. Damage already being done here behind this. And yeah, definitely need some stone walls here soon.
Yeah. Speaking of stone, we have Louis that has dropped yet another keep, and the Rams, I'm not sure where the Rams are going to be heading, but I think it's just to continually poke holes throughout different spots of the walls, allow him escape points, allow him entry points.
Now we do gotta note that Louis, he did go up with this Paskaya tower, so he is not gonna have that superior ruse siege that we tend to see when they go for the high armory, and Horseman still doing such a great job of just being annoying here in the economy from Puppypaw. He doesn't have any mobile units to deal with these, so he's just running these very slow infantry units after them, one by one, and there we go. Never mind, it's not Puppypaw going for the stone wall, it's gonna be Louis.
And look, more farms trying to be transitioned into by Puppypaw while these horsemen are still just coming into the base. Louis is massing up Streltsy in the middle, though. So he has one unit that's the raiding unit to be that distractor, to be that annoyance. And then the main unit, his main army, has just been sitting in center map with the control.
So, though, whenever these horsemen run by a TC, a keep, or a TC, she's just been soaking up that experience, and she might soon be getting to level 4.
Yep. Louis, though, we saw yesterday, a few times against Mista, he kind of just waited for these massive all-in decisive attacks. It looks like that's what he's doing. He's massing up some Rams. He's waiting and watching, but Puppypaw starts to move forward himself onto this middle sacred site. Jean on her way, wasn't quite there at the beginning of the fight, so a lot of those frontline spearmen got cleaned up. A few horsemen go back into the farms.
TC fire, though, with that red palace emplacement. Puppypaw folds back for now. It doesn't have any siege in order to attack against these keeps.
Louis transitioning on the trade.
For Louis.
He's transitioned to a huge trade boom behind these stone walls as well. So once gold runs out, he won't have this worry of running out of gold like Puppypaw will have. Like Puppypaw's market, it's not fully walled in. Louis has dropped the walls there, so he can easily continue to focus down the trade, not allow it to go through, and deny Puppypaw's gold in the long game.
And now Rams are getting taken down by the spears.
That's a lot of XP for Jean that the Rams give. 25 a pop. So now, you said she might be getting close to level 4. Level 4 is imminent.
It's 1,500 experience in total that you need to gain, and I mean, she is starting to look really, really scary here, and there's so many crossbowmen out right now for Puppypaw. He definitely needs to take fights soon, but I feel like the timing here, the window is closing as the mangonel number is starting to build up for Louis.
Mangonel numbers indeed, and that's one of those with one single Mangonel shot, it can just prove to be the decisive factor when we're talking about military masses in the numbers of 86 each. Both players getting those Mangonels, Louis just getting a few more of them.
Looks like he's splitting up these horsemen, going around the side, and the main fight now going to be happening on the left side. A couple of Janissaries get taken down. And the crossbowman really doing an amazing job here, getting that faster attack speed with Jeanne d'Arc, and yeah, overall, the Arbitrary just doing an amazing job here. And now level 4 isn't it? That's a normal world can. He didn't just, yeah, it's in queue, it's not out there. Level 4 not here yet.
It's still just one single Springled though, so it does take 2 shots to take down a Mangonel, but already got the first one, and that's all you really need to deny that Mangonel from being able to set up. So Villager will need to come help and repair that.
Now both players massing up these resources. Something just got deleted somewhere.
I think Louis deleted some villagers. I see him do this a lot, where he'll just start deleting villagers to mass back up with yeah, he did. Just delete another 12 villagers.
Yeah, he's deleting villagers. Yeah,
once more military out, once more traders out, yeah.
This might just be in preparation for this big fight happening. He does have a ton of resource in the bank, so just deleting some villagers to get like this extra 20 military pop space, and then taking a crucial engagement, that sometimes is just what you need in order to win a game.
Yep, Puppypaw trying to secure up a keep to secure the trade, but military is starting to split it right as Louis is 100% prepping to take this. What? He just deleted military.
Did he? What did he delete? Spearmen? No, wait, were there some Streltsy in there as well? I hope that's only Spearmen.
I'm assuming that's only Spearmen.
Yeah, it looks like it's only Spearmen. You can tell by the hats, right? Yeah.
It feels so weird to just delete your military. Instead, though, takes this fight on the west side. There's no Jean here. Wants to just clean up the Spearmen. Wants to clean up this little bit of a mass that was burning down the outpost and re-wall himself on up.
Well, these villagers focusing right now. They're burning something.
Going to burn down the walls to be able to re-wall. It'll wall in his mark. He'll be able to wall in his market if he burns down the wall segments.
Oh no, there was another wooden fortress that he's taken down now. So that's what he was looking for. Royal Cannon is out now, and now Louis also has to go for his own Springles. He's not pop capped anymore. He's invested a good chunk now into trade as well.
I felt like it was so weird deleting the Spearman at that time. Like, it would have made sense if he had like 20 Streltsy in queue, but he's still not pop capped like you said. Could have been a timing for Puppypaw maybe to close. Puppypaw though, 11,000 food into the bank.
Definitely has the eco here in this game, but gold income not looking so good for him anymore. I mean, he's got 1 sacred site, 2 relics, but Louis, he's got 3 relics, 2 sacred sites. It's a passive gold, and with the hunting cabins and the high trade house, it's looking very good for Puppypaw. But there's always the guild hall.
Yeah, and trade has been set up for Louis as well, way ahead of time. Mangonel's moving forward, Horseman moving forward. This is the fight that Louis is wanting to take. Mangonel shot though and went into the Streltsy mass. Huge first fire from Puppy's Mangonel.
Goodbye, Jean.
Springald's on the other side doing a great job taking out those Mangonels. Mangonel from Puppypaw falls, and the Streltsy just firing out the best they can. Springald's get taken out. Siege is all falling, and Puppypaw, he's falling back, but he's still... Trade went somewhat okay for him. Needs to continue to remass back up, or else Rams will be headed towards his production.
Oh, that's a lot of experience coming in now, though. With these with the Streltsy going down.
Oh, that AoE mass! The AoE cleave from Jean did so much damage to the Streltsy, though. I'm pretty sure it took out 15 to 20.
I don't think it's worth it, considering that he just lost her again, and now the cooldown is on it. You gotta be so careful with Jean in these fights.
He's still doubling the military mass from Louis' side. Louis still doesn't have enough in queue to equalize the other side. So just fall back, remass back up. But it's 2 minutes until Jean can come back.
Yeah, and behind all of this, I mean, Louis, he's investing double gold-wise into his range units than what Puppypaw is investing. Maybe even less, because Puppypaw, he's got the consecration in. So he's only paying 30 gold for these arbalistry.
And if Puppy loses any of these gold units, it's so much harder for him to remass them back up with only 341 per minute.
Yeah, there's not a lot of trade going on for him right now, is it? Louis, he's been trading for much longer now, and way better as well. Puppypaw's getting a lot of wood, though, behind all of this. But wood isn't necessarily what you need, not necessarily what you want here.
The keep, though, it's starting to fall. Louis, he has a big mass. He's got some siege here, but Puppypaw still seems to be taking good fights. Those arbs are just such a strong unit against everything. And there, the keep finally falls. 10 units jumped inside of a ram. I don't know if Louis did that on purpose.
Oh, Springles have to be
Louis'
careful.
ram.
Springles goes down. And now the Rams are in.
Whoa. Rams into Puppy's eco. This is so hard to clear up, even with 20 villagers there. It takes so much time to end up doing so much annoyance, and that's where both of these players are starting to do this ram mass.
Knights and Horsemen run in as well, so now you actually have to react with units as well. You can't just be pulling villagers, but it looks like the Knights are going to be a little bit too slow here. Rams are going to be getting cleaned up in time. And with the keep there, just a couple of Knights, they're probably not going to be able to achieve a lot.
Ooh. Villagers will start falling, but not a big deal. Puppypaw, he's got 4,000 wood into the bank. Both of these players, huge resources.
Oh, look at the gold! He put the guild hall. He cut the gold out of the guild hall. Suddenly, Puppypaw's at 5,000 gold in the bank.
Yeah, and Louis on the other side, he's the one struggling for resources. It seemed like he was doing good with this trade setup. It seemed like he had this position, but Puppypaw, he hasn't been losing as many units. He hasn't had to use as much resources, and you can see the bank that he has.
These two players neck and neck. This is such a decisive match here for them. Match point. Whoever wins this goes to the semifinals. Whoever loses this has to bow out for the rest of the year when it comes to S-tier tournaments in Age of Empires 4. And now level 4 is in for Jean.
I mean, nerves are at the highest. This is such a crazy game. 38 minutes in. Puppy, max population. Louis, he's struggling to get back to max. I'm wondering if he's regretting deleting some of those units that he did, deleting some of those villagers that he did.
The trade route there, not really favoring Louis too much. These traders are running rather far forward and tries to get another keep up now.
Keeps trying to go up, but there's a cannon here already. If the cannon just moves up, that keep will fall so quickly.
Oh, Jean, once again, Jean, be careful. Please don't do it again.
This time, though, Louis has the military mass, not necessarily the siege mass, so can they take the trades that they need? Mangonel's still firing. Strelcy's scared to step up, and the Spaskaya Tower forces Puppypaw back away.
Boiling oil now coming in as well, and looks like Puppypaw, he's starting to trade now as well. Rather, he's been trading for a while, but not with a lot. Okay, never mind. 27 active traders. Where are they? No, it's 8. We're looking at the wrong market. 8 traders, not a ton. Those were traders from Louis, probably. There we go, 27 traders on Louis' side.
Horseman still just trying to raid through, constantly annoy Puppypaw's eco. Although we could see the eco numbers. We know Puppypaw's sitting fine. He's almost got wonder resources in the bank. If that guild hall's on stone, he'll be there in just a little bit.
Yeah, very good resource right now in the bank for Puppypaw, and now he's going for a forward keep of his own. Trying to secure the middle further. Horsemen are going to be running in, trying to do some damage, and they will find some damage here onto the villagers.
Some villagers, some traders. Militia got sent on out just to, I think, scout what's going on, throw those units away, and see what they can do. But the main engagement clashing in the middle. Military units starting to face on out. The Horseman stepping up, and Puppypaw, he has to cancel this keep. He does not have the numbers here. He reacted to the push from Louis a little too heavily. And the Strelcy, though. Good Mangonel shot from Puppypaw. Mango, though, has to continue to fall back. Puppypaw kiting back as well. Springald's just kind of staring at each other on either side. But the thing is, with these Streltsy, such high base damage, we just saw the Mangonel just get evaporated.
I was the Springalds.
Oh. Either way.
It's still high base, and we got 60 of these Streltsy out right now. 60 Streltsy. That is the main force here right now from Louis.
And Puppypaw, he's investing so heavy into the Springalds, though, that he's like knows that Siege is a huge, huge importance. But Louis, he's only got Springalds out. He doesn't have the Mango Mass anymore.
Comes down to a Springald wall, though. I think Puppypaw might be looking to be in a very, very good position here. Streltsy gets sniped by the Springalds. And the keep now is going to be coming up for Puppypaw. Springald starting to move forward. The Mangonel is a little bit too far on the front side for Puppypaw. Might get taken down here quickly.
Puppypaw sniping down the Mangonels. Huge trades from Puppypaw. Mango shot. Unbelievable into the Streltsy mask. Jean falls, but the Mango is still alive and still shooting any of those shots that get into any of those units. Just such a great shot, but it doesn't matter when there's 50 Streltsy out. They clear everything in their path. The static defenses, the static ground just makes their damage and their attack speed go so high, and Puppypaw is falling back yet again.
More Mangoes coming out there. More shots coming in. Royal Cannon coming in as well. To be able to do a good chunk of damage and more shots.
The keep has Rams on, the keep has Rams on it. Some horsemen, some knights circling around to get onto the Mangonels. Arb's trying to kite back to keep the Mangoes alive, and Louis does look like he's going to be able to clear up this mass from Puppypaw and deny the keep. Both players, they're not max pop. They got plenty of resources to be max pop. At least Puppy does, but Louis is the one.
Do they?
Louis doesn't.
Louis doesn't have it. Yeah, Louis doesn't have a lot of resource in the bank. Puppypaw, it feels like he's got solar on his roof right now because he's playing this on renewable energy.
Everything that falls for Puppy, he's just able to mass back up so much quicker. Louis, he's struggling. His units, there's such higher value here. We're talking about Streltsy and Knights compared to Spears and Arbs, and Puppy's been holding these engagements totally fine. The Mango shots have been so crucial for clearing out the Streltsys.
Oh my. This is looking really. Oh my god, the Rams. The Rams. It's going to come down to a really big ram push here, I feel like, for Louis now. He doesn't have the economy to remass the Streltsy numbers. He was on 60. Now he's on 23.
His food income is just not where it needs to be. It's not like you have the granary eco or any of these extra food ecos. The Rams, though, they're heading on forward. Louis is trying to go for this decisive push, but Puppy has such a huge infantry mass that I think he just clears up the military and then deals with the Rams after it.
Not just deal with both at the same time. He still has 4 Springalds, and these aren't the strong Roost Rams that we're used to knowing.
Puppy is looking really good right now as far as his position goes. Louis still not back up to max population, and a lot of that pop is on Rams, whereas Puppy, it's on Siege that can kill units. It's on actual units that are out onto the field that can do things. And Louis is still struggling to get back up there.
Can we take another look at the guild hall, see how many resources are in that landmark again at the moment? It's back up to 2,000 gold.
Yeah, Puppy might be not quite the same gold income as Louis on the other side, but that guild hall really just allows him to get these massive jumps up. And it's not like these engagements have been going bad for Puppy, so he hasn't had to remass back up 150 units. Well, he has a couple times, but it hasn't been too difficult for him because of his bank that he's had every time.
Wall hasn't been rebuilt here, so Knights are running into the economy from Puppypaw now. These are fully upgraded Roost Knights.
Yep, Puppypaw losing out on some more villagers. Villagers still going out onto the wood line, but Puppypaw deleted villagers earlier. He's at the point where this could just make his military ball that much scarier, that much harder to deal with.
Looks like there was an attempt to drop a keep there. Does think about it again, though. Some units are being pulled back to deal with the raid, but at the same time, Louis, he's preparing for an engagement at the front side in the middle of the map. The Rams are out. The Knights are posturing. The Streltsy are ready. Springalds are putting... That's 9 Springalds. That's a lot of them.
The siege superiority is back onto Louis' side, especially with the Rams being annoying, hoping that they can just, you know, be distracted from some A moves, hope to take some of that ARB fire. The Streltsy on the backside clearing up the best they can of the front line of Puppy, but Puppy has so many numbers here right now.
Now, Spearman focusing down those Rams, but the keep very likely will go down, but all of the Streltsy behind that die to the crossbowman from Puppy here right now. He's got 60 crossbowmen out on the field still.
Yeah, Puppy's still sitting at a nice and very healthy military pop. As the villagers die, they're replaced by military. He's got 105 military units out, while Louis sitting at 33. And yes, he's got 18 siege, but the Rams are like, eh.
And now it's going to be a transition into Horseman here for Puppypaw. Cannons coming out as well with the Horseman. He's going to finally start being the one to be able to take down the economy from Louis behind all of that. And, I mean, it's a pretty strong economy, don't get me wrong, but it feels like Puppypaw, his bank, it is so absolutely massive right now. Oh, he's getting housed, though. 180 population space right now.
Yeah, a lot of these buildings are falling, but the Rams have been cleared on up. The military mass from Puppypaw starting to move forward onto this eastern sacred site. There's a keep here to defend on up. Jean going for the Rams, get some AoE fire onto the Rams, onto the back line mass, but Puppypaw still has 100 military units out, and Louis trying to do his best to hold this, and if he does, it's still going to be so much harder for him to remass back up.
Springel's taking down the Mangonels here for Louis, and 70 Arbalestria, 30 Spearmen. How do you deal with that? Springles, though, overstaying their welcome a little bit. To get taken down by the keep.
Mangonel turning back around to come help now that the Springalds have been dealt with. The keep doing the best it can to stay up and alive. There's some Springalds here helping from Louis take down the Rams, and somehow, some way, it seems like he is holding this, even though Puppy has 100 units out, but reinforcements are on their way. A couple of huge masses on their way for Puppypaw, and Louis, he does not have the same reinforcements in. 8 Horsemen, 11 Streltsy in queue.
And all of that Shondark has fallen, but she's not needed here right now on the front side anymore. Looks like Puppypaw is taking down the Mangonel just with the Arbalestria, and it's going down! Only very little damage coming through every single shot, but it's enough, and now Louis doesn't have anything here at the front side anymore to hold back this army mass.
The cannon has arrived, so that will be the unit to start sieging down the keep instead of the Rams, because they got cleared on up. 74 ARBs. Puppy, he just has too much military for Louis to be able to deal with. Trade has been cut off. No more gold for Louis. No more Streltsy after that. No knights. It's going to have to be the weaker infantry, and that's where ARBs are going to be that much stronger even.
A lot of units are in queue, but there's not enough resource to remass back the army, and looks like Puppypaw, he's pushing this one in now. He said enough. He's taking this game. Jeanne d'Arc looks to be now in a winning position against the Rus.
And everyone can complain about how OP Jeanne is. I feel like she wasn't even the big decisive factor. This was just Puppy's late game, Puppy's macro. The way he held, continued to slow push, deal with raids. This has just been such a clinical game. And the ARBs are the strength that we have seen over and over, taking just great trades.
Yeah, I mean, Jeanne couldn't have been the deciding factor there. She died nearly every time, but... Oh, great Mangonel shots go coming in. Not enough Springles here right now for Puppypaw. Some Horsemen running around, but the Mangonel shots taking down a lot of these crossbowmen now.
Still, I don't know if it's going to be enough. As they disappeared, they just get remassed back up with Puppypaw's bank that he has. Couple more Mangonels. Puppypaw just steps forward with the ARBs into the Mangonels, so there's no range that the Mangonels can actually fire off at. Shooting at 1 or 2, and Puppypaw looking to be taking some decent trades here still, and
he's shooting against the Mangonel, so he's not doing enough damage. He's losing all of his army mass. And suddenly, lines are being drawn again.
He needs to remass back up, needs to slow that back down. Feels like he was getting a little too confident with himself.
Oh no, the cannon gets found out. Puppypaw definitely need those Springles. He's remassed the Springle count. Doesn't want to lose him now. Jeanne d'Arc back out on the field. And now Springle on Springle wall happening once again.
But this is the difference though. Puppypaw, We blink and Puppypaw's back at 80 military count out. We blink and Louis, he's still sitting at 30 to 40 military. Just can't really get the mass that he needs.
Yeah, and Puppypaw, he took the gold out of the guild hall. He's once again back up at 5,000 gold.
Siege is slowly starting to move forward. Arbmass still sitting there healthy, and the Streltsy surprisingly hit a 20 number. I expect it to be lower at this point. He's massing up Streltsy, but that's it. There's 6 Streltsy in queue. This might just be the beginning of the end.
Oh, more Bang & L shots coming in here. It's so difficult to push into this. Definitely needs the support from the Springles. Now remassing the Horsemen. So you have Royal Cannons out. No Royal Cannons out anymore. Those have been all sniped out.
There's only 4 more Streltsy in queue. I know it might seem like this has been the same stall out going for a while, but I feel like this is the point where Puppy, he's taken triple Sacred Site. He's denied a lot of the keeps. He's starting to siege down another keep, and there's not a lot of static defenses left here for Louis left. There's still Springles on Puppypaw's side. He's diving in with Jean onto the back line. The siege is just all falling, and Louis is looking to be falling with it. Jean's on the backside. Streltsy getting great AoE cleaves in.
She doesn't take any damage.
Last Mangonel still alive, but not too far away from falling, as there's nothing there to protect it.
Look at that Man-at-Arm. Look at that Man-at-Arm with the crown. I want to see its stats. I want to see the stats with the Man-at-Arm that has a crown on it. 730 health, 90 damage. Jean's elite champion.
And that is where now all of the units for Louis are falling. He's not at max pop. He's about to fall below the half max population and slowly will continue to fall. After that, the whole east side has been captured by Puppy, and Puppypaw takes the series to move on to the semifinals.
What a set. This was so neck and neck. I can't imagine a more even set now. Louis, I mean, we just gotta say, he's improved so much. So much in the last couple of tournaments, over the last couple of tournaments, and now, I mean, what a performance. Puppypaw as well, like in Call to Arms, he wasn't looking that strong, but now, in the Elite Final, in the EGC Finals, he's been able to take down Lucifron, and now able to take down Louis, and I mean, wow, what an amazing set we had here today.